Well, the 2021 Wyoming American Legion State Baseball Tournament has not yet ceased to amaze. We have another great day of games live on mylocalradio.com, and now we dive headfirst into the 307 Baseball Recap Show. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Cullen Holtz, and we are live in the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. We've got a lot to recap and a lot to get ready for as we move into the semifinals tomorrow. So with that being said, and without further ado, let's jump right into the highlights. We'll start it off with the first game of the day. This was Casper and Sheridan. We've heard a lot of good things about the Casper offense. I know I've been talking about it pretty much all day long as the Oilers got out to an early lead, put up a 4 spot in the opening inning. There's Cole Douglas with an RBI single, Samson Wagner with a sacrifice there, Cooper Hack would add another one, and the Oilers got out to an early start, and you know that's dangerous with just how good this offense has been. 23 runs yesterday. They've scored so many runs every game throughout the season, and they would add even a couple more as we move into the bottom of the second as Wilcox brings in a run with that ball in play, and Grant Nipper would add his own RBI single later. So now a commanding 6-0 lead for Casper after 2 innings. Sheridan not quite done yet, however. In the top of the third, just a half inning later, down 6-0. They would start their comeback. And here comes Cody Kilpatrick. RBI single. That gets the ball rolling. Pun intended. Kilpatrick scores on a wild pitch a little bit later. Then another run comes in with the bases loaded on a walk. So that sets up this play with Cale Hamrick. He puts the ball in. Couple runs come around to score. And you'll see it in just a few moments. But another run comes in on an interference call. Again, that's Hamrick who gets the play moving. 3 runs score on the play, and Sheridan ties it up at 6-all in the top of the third. So just a fun inning to see the way the Troopers battled right back, went blow for blow with the Casper offense until a half inning later. Go to the home half of the frame. Morgan Pickett brings in 2 runs with that single. Caden Wilcox adds an RBI single of his own. Casper right back in front. Samson Wagner got in on the fun with an RBI base knock as well. Casper would build their lead up to 10-6 in the bottom of the third as they shot right back at the Troopers, and they go on to win it 12-6, the final in the first game. That was the 1 p.m. start time. So Casper moves on. Sheridan's season comes to a close. They had such a great season. They continued to battle, playing tough team after tough team. They won on day 1, had to go to the loser's side of the bracket, and just ran into a very, very good Casper Oilers offense. Wilcox and Wagner each had 3 RBIs for the Oilers, and that offense is a well-oiled machine. Let's go to game number 2 now. This was the 4 p.m. start time. Evanston and Gillette. Another elimination game on the docket for today. This was a defensive battle. Not a whole lot of offensive action, but top of the second, Colson Cluck gets Gillette going. They would strike first. That single brings in a run. Evanston answers right back. Bottom of the second, Derek McDonald. Ball in play. Run crosses the plate. We are tied. 1 inning later, bottom of the third, run comes across on an error. Throw gets away from the third baseman, and Ryan Evanston is in front for the first time in this game. 2 innings later now, bottom of the 5th, Hank Allred comes in on the wild pitch, swing and miss, ball gets away from the catcher. And again, a defensive duel. I don't even think there were any earned runs in that game, but Evanston ekes out a victory 3-1. Great pitching performances. We're going to talk a little bit more about them later. Congratulations to Gillette on a great season in the Wyoming portion of their season. In fact, their campaign here in 2021 is going to continue as the hosts of the regional tournament. They're going to get an automatic bid to that event, so they are not quite done yet, but they did go out with a bang at the Wyoming State Tournament. Matt Newland, 6 innings pitched, just 4 hits, no earned runs, and 10 strikeouts in those 6 innings. I told you it was a pitcher's duel, and we're going to, again, touch on that just a little bit later as well. Third game of the day, under the lights, the host team in action against the favorites, the Cheyenne Sixers. This was the team that was expected to do well at this tournament against the Laramie Rangers, the team that has gotten hot as the host team. Pick it up in the top of the third. There's Dominic Lopez, Cheyenne going to work. Finally, they woke the offense up. They've overcome slow starts with no difficulty over the course of this tournament. Zach Kostopoulos brings in 2 runs with a double. Hayden Swain with a 3 RBI double. He clears the bases with an extra base hit. Julian Romero puts the ball in play. Another one comes across. That was all in the top of the third. They built a 7-0 lead. and then they would just continue to pile on as they shut out Laramie 16-0. Cheyenne, now the only team without a loss. Laramie not eliminated. That was not an elimination game. That was from the winner's bracket. So now we've got our 4 semifinal teams with Cheyenne, Laramie, Evanston, and Casper. 2 teams from the east, 2 teams from the west. They'll battle it out for a state championship over the next couple of days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's bring it back now into the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. Let you know what's going to happen here on the 307 Baseball Recap Show. We're going to have an interview coming up. Then we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the brackets. That's when we'll talk about the schedule for tomorrow. We'll preview the games for tomorrow as well. There are going to be some good ones, I can already tell you that. And how everything's going to play out, what the scenarios are for those semifinals. 3 teams with 1 loss and 1 team with no losses as well. Before we continue, though, let's check in on our friends from the Single A. That tournament wrapped up today. The Cubs of Cody took home the hardware. They did not lose a game all tournament. They beat Cheyenne today, so they didn't have to play again, and they are the champs of the Single A in Wyoming. Final score from that game, Cody 8, Cheyenne 2. So congratulations to the Cubs, taking care of business once again. So a lot still coming your way. Before we get there, though, we talked about that pitcher's duel in game number 2 between Evanston and Gillette. Newland obviously had a great game. You know who else had a really good game, though? Gus Allred. And he put up some pretty big numbers. Let's roll the tape for Gus Allred right now. He goes 7 innings, a complete game. He gives up just 3 hits, no earned runs, as Gillette scored 1, but it was not earned. And he struck out 8 in that performance. He has had such a great year for the Outlaws. He's going to the University of Jamestown in the fall. He'll play baseball there as well as he closes out his campaign with the Outlaws with a really, really big performance on the mound. He won't be able to pitch for the rest of the tournament. As there he is right now, Gus Allred joins us on the 307 Baseball Recap Show. And first of all, Gus, did that feel good today, that outing on the mound?
Oh, it felt amazing. There's nothing quite like it. That's probably as good as I could have asked for an end of my pitching career with the Outlaws.
Yeah, and that lends the question. I mean, that was your last pitching appearance. Did that hit you before the game, or was it just I just got to go out there and have a job to do?
I had it in the back of my mind, but I knew I just had to go do a job today, and it worked out.
So what's that like then? You go out there, not only is that your last pitching appearance for the Outlaws before you go off to bigger and better things, but also you get the victory, you get the 1 run, and you're pitching to your brother Hank. I mean, does all that just come together for a great experience?
Oh, it's the best. Like I said, there's nothing quite like it. It was just the best feeling ever.
Let's talk about these Outlaws, huh? You guys dropped a tough one on day 1, lost by 7 runs. You have battled your way all the way back into the semifinals. What is it about this team that is keeping them going?
Oh, just grit. Just knowing that we're not going to lose. We're not here to lose. We're here to get through this whole thing. We want that state title. And everybody, especially today, we just had great attitudes and everybody was just hyped the whole time. It's the environment is just great in our dugout and from our fans too. It's just been awesome.
At the high school level, you're not a pitcher only, so you've been a part of this team. You've been active in these games since game 1. But then as a pitcher, how nice is it to have the team playing so well behind you?
Oh, it's great. Everybody just played amazing today, and it's so nice to be able to just trust every single person on that field and everyone in the dugout too. That environment was just great. Everyone was just pumped up. It was just fantastic today.
Gus, I know a lot of people are excited for that matchup tomorrow, so I'll let you get rested up, and then you guys can go against Cheyenne tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Gus. Again, when we return to the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios, we're going to take a look at the brackets, the matchups for tomorrow. ELAN OLLIFF will join us from the Union broadcast booth out there in Laramie, and we'll get you set for another full day of action on a Thursday. Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. Everybody's got a reason to buckle up. What's yours? Mine is so that I can come and do these great shows for you, which will continue after this.
I'm Kendall Roberts with the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Whether your car is a classic car or a new one, buckle up every time. Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe.
I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family.
I buckle up because it keeps me safe. Go Pokes, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
The semifinal matchups are set. Let's take a look at the brackets now. We'll start off by looking at the winner's bracket, how we got to tonight's 7 p.m. showdown between Cheyenne and Laramie. You can see it was an absolute battle. No easy path for any of these teams, and Cheyenne somehow got through it without a single loss. So now let's check in on the loser's bracket. You can see how those guys got there. Casper and Evanston both lost on day one. They battled their way all the way back to the semifinals. Those are the matchups. Casper versus Laramie at 1 on Thursday. Evanston versus Cheyenne at 4 on Thursday. So let's look at the updated bracket now. Here's how things will shake out. Casper Laramie, game 1. Winner moves on to game 14, which will be on Friday at 1 p.m. Here's where things get interesting. The 4 p.m. matchup between Evanston and Cheyenne. The Sixers, they have already clinched a spot in a state championship game. So if Evanston were to win, they would go and play the winner of Casper Laramie at the 1 p.m. start time on Friday. Then the winner of that game would play Cheyenne, as they would automatically jump to the far right side of your screen. If Cheyenne takes care of Evanston tomorrow, then they go into that game 14. They only have to win once against the winner of Casper Laramie, and they would be the state champs. In that case, Casper or Laramie would have to beat Cheyenne twice to be the state champs. So, well, Elon, come on the 307 Baseball Recap Show. We got to talk about today. It was a fun one. Tons of good games, maybe a surprise or two, and maybe some expected results as well, huh? We'll start with game 1. Your thoughts on that one?
Hats off to Sheridan. I mean, they were put in a tough spot. They go down 6-0. Their manager gets ejected. They answer with 6 straight, and then this Casper offense, when we get to when we're going to talk about the matchups tomorrow, I'll have more to say about it, but this Casper offense, it's prolific. I said it on the broadcast. Kind of reminds you of that Kansas City Chiefs offense from a few years ago, where their defense was pretty good, but not great. But that offense can just strike so quick. That's the Casper Oilers this year.
Evanston, we just talked to Gus Allred earlier in the show. They lose on day 1. Just like Casper, they've come all the way back. They
have, and against a big opponent, an opponent that's kind of been their bugaboo for as long as they've been in Double-A. They've never beaten Gillette in Double-A before, postseason, regular season. I'm sure Gus mentioned it. The C team lost the C team state championship to Gillette. It's a big win. It's a big win. It's a historic day for the Outlaws, for sure.
Cheyenne, it feels like it's a kind of lining them up, knocking them down, huh?
Yeah, Cheyenne is just that team that doesn't make mistakes. They may start slow. We've talked about it. The previous 2 games, they didn't get anything going until the 4th. This inning, they waited till the 3rd, got it going, and it got going in a big way. 7 runs. When you put that up, it's going to become very, very difficult to beat them. So I think the key with Cheyenne is you got to play clean, because they are going to play clean.
We've seen Cheyenne play well all season long. No surprise there. They've gotten the recognition they deserve. But it feels like almost they've even taken the next step in this state tournament to be even that much cleaner.
Well, I mean, Ty Lane, he hasn't come out and said it, but I think it's no secret that Cheyenne Post 6 has World Series aspirations. And in order to do that, you got to take care of business here, and then you take care of business in Gillette next week at the regional. If they don't take care of business here, then those aspirations go down the tube. So I think that you're seeing a elevated play from Post 6 for that reason, knowing that, you know what, this isn't the end goal, this is a stepping stone. If a team like Evanston wins the state championship, that's a great thing. They're going to go to regionals, but I think that the state is the thing that they would hang their hat on. For Post 6. They've got higher aspirations. They're a team that's the class of Wyoming right now. It's going to take someone's perfect game to beat them, as we've seen throughout the tournament.
Cheyenne will be the first team from Wyoming to go to the American Legion World Series as well. Hey, Elon, I know you got another long day of calling games tomorrow, so I'll let you go, but thanks so much for checking in.
No problem. We'll see you in the morning, Colin.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Elon and the gang calling those games tomorrow. There will be two very good games and very important games in the semifinals as well. Again, game times 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Why don't we just pull up the brackets once again so you can see for yourself the updated AA bracket and how it looks. Casper, Laramie first, then Evanston, Cheyenne. We'll have pregame for you on the Thursday starting at 12:40. We'll play this recap show to get you ready for the day. Then postgame after that game's over. Pregame for Evanston, Cheyenne starts at 3:45. Postgame immediately following that one. As we kind of wrap everything up, we'll try to get interviews for you and really go in depth on those matchups. It's going to be a great day of baseball as we find out who will be playing for the state championship on Friday. I can't thank you guys enough for following along through the first 3 days. We still have 2 more days of this, which is the good news. I already can't wait to see how these games will play out and who's going to play for the state championship. It's going to be a ton of fun as we've got just 4 teams remaining. Let's take a look at the 307 Baseball Coaches and Media Poll and how things have shaked out as far as that goes. Cheyenne, the consensus number 1, they're still in it. Sheridan at number 2, they have been eliminated from state championship contention. Casper and Laramie at 3 and 4 are still in it. Gillette, they are out of Wyoming State Championship contention as well. So the 4 teams we have remaining are Cheyenne, Casper, Laramie, 1, 3, and 4, and the unranked Evanston Outlaws, who were the big story of the day, coming all the way back after losing their first game to get back into the semifinals, and they will play for a spot in the state championship tomorrow against the favorites, Cheyenne. So a lot to digest. Hopefully you get a good night's sleep tonight and get ready for those games tomorrow. I know all the athletes and coaches might have a little trouble sleeping, but hopefully they get rested up because it will be a fun day tomorrow. I'm Cullen Holt talking to you live from the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. 2 games coming up on a Thursday. Enjoy them both, and we'll talk to you throughout the day.
The dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Play ball!
And we are live from Cowboy Field in the Union broadcast booth, bringing you day 4. Only 4 teams remaining left. Game 1, Laramie and Casper, and we're broadcasting from the Union Sports broadcast booth today at Cowboy Field, offering high-speed internet for your home and offense, all the internet you need for streaming, movies, and gaming for the whole family. Visit unionwireless.com or stop by your local Union office for all the details. And Elon, I'm excited for this ball game here today. I think this could be a good one.
This is definitely one that I think a lot of people have circled on their calendars ever since the matchup was announced yesterday afternoon, with the winner of the Evanston-Gillette game taking on Cheyenne. And now you've got Casper versus Laramie, a high-powered offense that has really kind of stole a lot of the headlines at this tournament. And then, of course, the homestanding Laramie Rangers, who have gotten their fair share of the headlines. A great walk-off win on night 1. Good dominating win over Gillette on night 2. couldn't quite get the job done against the Post 6 Sixers. However, that final score, don't read too much into it. I think Laramie knew where they were going. Excuse me. I think Laramie knew where they were going to be fairly early in that game, so they kind of pulled back, said, all right, let's reset, let's move on, and let's get ready for this semifinal matchup against Casper, which is the #1 offense in the state.
Absolutely, and Casper's just been swinging the bats incredibly. Dropped that first game of the tournament to Gillette, but since then they have hit, and haven't stopped. And we're going to get the matchup we thought we were going to get. Ryan Chamberlain on the mound for the Laramie Rangers, and Casper, that high-powered offense, and it's going to be Braden Barr, Morgan Pickett, Cole Douglas. You've talked about those top 3 guys and how good they've been.
Oh, absolutely, especially that Braden Barr kid. He has been unreal in the postseason. In the game against Jackson, 6 RBIs, collected quite a few yesterday. He sets the table for that Morgan Duckett, Cole Douglas, 1-2 batters in batting average in the state.
Absolutely, and we're ready to go. Ryan Chamberlain on the mound. The first pitch is to Braden Barr, and it misses just upstairs for ball 1, and we are underway on day 4.
State semifinals. Winner of this game is going to possibly play for a state championship. We don't know. It'll depend on what happened in the Evanston Cheyenne game.
And there, Chamberlain gets in with the fastball in the corner. So after throwing 2 balls, gets back in there with a strike against Braden Barr. Mentioned Morgan Pickett, Cole Douglas, rounding out this Casper order. Caden Wilcox, Samson Wagner, and Grant Nipper, as that one's fouled up and out of play. The final third for the Casper Oilers is Shane Taggart, Cooper Hack, and Justin Wicks. And that's how Coach Hill's squad is going to attack Ryan Chamberlain in this one.
Chamberlain was so good in the opening night game against Jackson. They knew they had to keep him around 60 so he could be available for a potential semifinal game, and they did just that. He could have gone yesterday, but I think they really liked their chances with Branch. He pitched very well. That post 6 lineup is just a whole nother animal, though.
Absolutely. Chamberlain, and checking his swing was Braden Barr on that one. We have a full count in the first batter of the game, and Chamberlain's going to have his hands full with this Casper offense. As I'm looking at their starting lineup, 8 out of their 9 starters is above the 300 mark.
Absolutely unreal.
Payoff pitch on its way, and that one's grounded out to second base. Ben Malone scoops it up, sets his feet, fires in time for out number 1, and that's huge to get the first out of the ball game.
Yeah, especially against an offense like this, and it kind of settles you down a little bit more. Talked with Coach Aaron Lozano last night. He said they like their chances with their man on the mound. This one is to get them into, at worst, a third-place game tomorrow. So it's a very important game.
Absolutely. Everyone's looking to reach that final day of the state tournament, and everyone playing today has a chance to do just that. As the first pitch to Morgan Pickett, the lefty, misses just inside. So back-to-back batters where Chamberlain hasn't gotten that first pitch strike. That's going to be crucial for him moving forward. Chamberlain, the 1-0 pitch, misses low and in the dirt, 2-0. Very similar to that first at-bat with Braden Barr. He fell behind 2-0, battled back, got the ground out. Chamberlain out of the windup, and this one called strike. I just want to give a shout out to our home plate umpire, Nevin Jacobs, who sang that national anthem. Very often do you see a guy throw the mask on right after singing the national anthem at the state tournament. And that one got Pickett in the foot, and that's going to be a hit by pitch.
Do you think Jacobs, when he calls a strike call, he does it in tune?
I think he sure could after listening to him.
Now things get very, very cautious as you now have to take on that Cole Douglas. He's batting left-handed. Not often you see a left-handed catcher.
No, and he's a heck of a player, does a great job for the Casper Oilers behind the dish, and an even better job at the plate, hitting .469 coming into this one. And there's a called strike on the inside corner. Always huge to jump ahead of these hitters when you get to the middle of the lineups.
Yeah, absolutely. If you remember in that first game, Cole Douglas was changing his gloves every at-bat. I've seen blue gloves on him the last 2 days, so he must have settled in on those.
Hey, they've won the last 2 days. You can't mess that up. That one misses outside and in the dirt. 1-1 on Douglas. Pickett's on first. He reached on the hit by pitch. Chamberlain, the righty. And as you said, Coach Lozano feels good with Chamberlain on the mound. And I would too. Anytime you have your ace on the mound, you feel good about your chances to win.
Absolutely.
Chamberlain has the one he wants after that pickoff move. Set at the belt. Slide step moving on the pitch is Pickett, and Douglas fouls it down the left field line. And Chamberlain jumps ahead of Douglas 1-2.
That's a big foul ball right there. You can get 2 down with 1 on. You're looking pretty good. The one thing you don't want to do is 1 out, 2 on, especially with Wilcox coming up.
Absolutely, and I think that's something we're going to say the whole day with this Casper
Yeah,
lineup. Whoever's coming
quick.
up, it's going to be a difficult task. Kalen Hill's done a fantastic job with this offense this season, which misses in the dirt. Good stop by Morris. Huge to keep that runner at first base, keep the double play in order if you can.
I think the key for Chamberlain is he's going to have to work quick against these hitters.
I think so too. I think that'd be a good idea for him, just to keep him off balance a little bit as he picks over. That's the second time in this at-bat he's picked over, so he doesn't want Pickett to be moving from first base. We saw he was moving just a couple of pitches ago. Chamberlain gives a look over at Pickett and comes set at the belt. Slide step, and that one nearly gets Douglas, misses on the inside corner, and another deep count. So Casper making Chamberlain work early on in this game.
And the more that happens, the more familiar Casper's going to get familiar with Chamberlain's stuff, and advantage goes to that Oilers offense.
Absolutely, and don't want the advantage tipped over to those guys. Payoff pitch on its way, and Douglas hits that well into center field. Going back on it is Garrett Dodd. Converging on it is Chavez. Chavez going to make the play, kind of in left center field, and that is out number 2, a fly out to the left fielder, Brandon Chavez.
Big out, big pitch made there by Chamberlain. That was a loud out in probably about 50% of the parks in the state. But this one with a 360 down the line, 400 to straight center field. It's a monster. He already hit 1 out this week, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but a little bit of a breeze today. Yeah. Is this the windiest day you've seen?
This is definitely the windiest day that we've had all year. Or sorry, all tournament. Feels like it's been a year.
And that's a good pitch.
I know it's not the windiest day we've had all year, but this new season, it feels like it's been a year at times.
Exactly. Chamberlain gets strike 1. It's Caden Wilcox in the box. Chamberlain looking to work a scoreless first inning. So we'll see how that progresses throughout the day. That can mess with some balls once they get up in the air. Ball up and in, 1-1 on Wilcox.
Morris is definitely paying attention to that runner over at first, Pickett, just to make sure that he can't get any further.
Chamberlain takes a deep breath, and he's going to pick over again. And hey, he's made Pickett work over there at first base, and rightfully so, I would imagine. Pickett plays center field, good athlete. Don't want him moving, and we've seen how important 90 feet can be. Chamberlain deals. Wilcox swings at that breaking ball, and that was a really good pitch from Ryan Chamberlain.
Absolutely. Chamberlain has got such movement on his pitches. He can, when he's hitting his spots, he's almost unhittable. And I don't know if Casper's faced a pitcher like this in this tournament. They've been explosive. This will be a good test for him.
And that one misses just outside. Pretty good pitch from Chamberlain. I thought that was a tough take for Caden Wilcox.
Absolutely.
Chamberlain, 2 outs, looking for the final one. 2-2 count. Kicks, deals. Curveball, and that one's grounded out to second base. Once again, scooped up by Malone. He throws off balance and gets out number 3. So nothing doing for Casper after the 1-out base runner. Leave him stranded. No hits, no runs, no errors. You're watching the 2021 American Legion State Baseball Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come on in, Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come on in, Hotel and Suites, Casper.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
Back to the Union broadcast booth, bottom of the first inning from the Union broadcast booth. And this tournament's brought to you by the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. They remind you to buckle up for life, Wyoming. Every ride, every time. And through the first inning, I think that's how we expected Ryan Chamberlain to come out and perform.
Absolutely. He did a great job. He gets around that 1-out single. Just a really good job by Chamberlain to kind of relax everything and go out there and get to work in such a high-pressure game.
Absolutely. This is winner. Your season's over for both of these teams. Elimination games always fun, and it's going to be Grant Nipper on the mound for the Casper Oilers, making just his 5th start of the season. Top third of the lineup, due up to face Nipper is Aiden Morris, Garrett Dodd, and Brandon Chavez. Aiden Morris steps into the box and is ready to go against Nipper. Nipper work out of the windup, and the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. What do you think the key for the game for Casper is defensively? We know about their offense, but what do they have to do on this side of the ball to have success?
I think that the tables might be turned a little bit as their defense, as we've said, it's not great. I mean, it's definitely good. They're not scrubs by any stretch of the imagination, but where this team makes their money is on the offense. And I think they're going to run into a team that is going to test them a little bit. And I think the key is you know what? Relax. You're going to be okay. Your offense is going to come alive. It's going to be all about limiting damage because this Laramie lineup is going to do damage.
Absolutely, and we just saw that. We saw it last night where the cleaner team won in the nightcap, and right there, first batter of the game, an error on the third baseman, Shane Taggart, as Cole Douglas is going to throw out Aiden Morris, and that was a cannon from behind the dish by Cole Douglas.
Yeah, look at this on instant replay. Tries to fakes the bunt, and Morris reads it like a book. He beats him by about 3 steps. What a shot by Cole Douglas.
Yeah, that was a great throw and huge win. After you let the leadoff guy on, when your catcher can pick you up like that, I'm sure Shane Taggart at third base is going to tip his cap to the catcher.
Oh, absolutely.
Ball and a strike on Garrett Dodd. He's the 2-hitter for the Rangers, and he stings that past a jumping Taggart into left field, and that's going to be the first hit of the ball game.
You know what? I think the key for Laramie's offense, don't force anything. Just hit it where it's pitched, like what you talk about, the post 6 preaches. I bet these hitters are the same way. And for again, defense for Casper, realize they're going to do damage, weather the storm, get out of defense as quick as you can, and get your offense to the plate.
Absolutely. I think that's a huge part of this game. And like you said, kind of just piggybacking on that, don't press. Just because it's an elimination game doesn't mean it's any different. You're still just playing baseball like you've been playing all summer long.
As you've said earlier in the week, the bases are still 90 feet apart. It's the same game.
Exactly. First pitch to Chavez is called strike at the knees, and Nipper's done a good job of jumping ahead of these Laramie hitters so far, but they've had success early in this game. Hit 2 balls very hard.
Yeah, but 1 down already, so as Nipper throws back to first. 1 down already, so Casper's they're gonna grind this one out. They're going, like I said, Laramie's gonna get theirs, but when that Casper offense gets to humming, I think that's when this game really starts.
I agree. As Chavez rolls that one over to the first baseman, he's just going to field it and step on first. Advancing to second is Garrett Dodd, but there's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and you know what? That's all you need sometimes, is just that one That one pitch to kind of change complexion of the inning, because you could have you could easily look at that opening error and be dwelling on it, but now you're in a really good spot.
Absolutely. You're one pitch away from getting out of this inning and matching the 0 that Ryan Chamberlain just put up for the Laramie Rangers. That's what Nipper's trying to do against Hogsett. And that is a called strike on the outside corner from Nipper. Nipper looking to work a scoreless inning, though it hasn't been clean, as we mentioned. There was the error and the single in it, so Laramie's had a little of success early on. Nipper gives a look over to Dodd at second. That pitch misses way upstairs. A ball and a strike.
You know, it's an interesting pitching matchup we've got here. I think Casper knows that their chances of winning is going to rely on their offense. Nipper, as you mentioned, only his 5th start of the year, so he's not one of the frontline guys. So it's interesting. You're one of your guys who could be a postseason hero for you versus one of probably the ace on that Laramie squad.
Exactly, and sometimes in big games like this, you know, you expect your top of the line guys, they're going to produce, they're going to, sometimes it's the secondary guys that can win you those ball games. Who's going to show up that maybe you're not sure is going to or not? Dodd gets his lead off of second base. It's Wilcox holding him on. Nipper kicks, deals, breaking ball in there for a strike, and that was a good breaker from Nipper. I think that's the first one we've seen in this inning.
Yeah, that was a great pitch from Nipper, really trying to just find his location early. But when you got Cole Douglas as your backstop, you've got a great chance no matter who your pitcher is. He's going to, I mean, I haven't talked to the kid, but I just get the feeling that he's the type that really knows how to calm down this pitching staff.
Well, it's grounded to the first baseman, and a good job by Cooper Hackett first. He kind of bodied that one up, runs over and steps on first. So, like their counterparts in the top of the first, Casper gets a 0. We're knotted at 0 through 1. You're watching the 2021 American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
The importance of saving and learning how to use money wisely can be taught from a very young age. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we offer youth accounts to help kids learn to save, borrow, and spend responsibly. Our youth accounts are special, just like the kids in our community. Check out our See You Grow, See You Learn, and See You Prosper accounts for kids 0 to 18. These accounts are great to start managing finances. Open a youth account today for $1. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Back at the Union broadcast booth. 4 teams remain, and this is game 1, Casper and Laramie, and this should be a fun one. 0-0 through 1, going to be Wagner, Nipper, and Taggart trying to figure out Ryan Chamberlain, who looked very comfortable in that first inning.
Absolutely, and you know, he's already pitched in one big game this year, so he knows the situation, he knows the environment, and it really, really helps when you're pitching these big games in your home park.
Absolutely, it helps to be on the mound that you've been on all summer long. Gives you a sense of comfort. That first pitch to Wagner misses just low. That one's a called strike at the belt. And the more I think about this, I think that Laramie maybe striking first early on in this game would help them a lot against this Casper offense.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think the key is going to be, I mean, eventually you expect Casper to make a run. So you're absolutely right. The further out in front of him you can get, the better off it's going to be. I don't know if Casper has faced a pitcher like Chamberlain in this tournament.
And that one shot through the left side by Wagner, and that's a single to left field. And that's the first hit of the game. Had a hit by pitch in the first inning. But Wagner gets on Chamberlain to lead off this inning.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if they faced a pitcher like Chamberlain in this tournament yet. So I don't know if you're going to see a 6-run run or 4 or 5. It may be a 2-3 type inning, but if you can get out in front of them and stem that tide, that's really going to help Laramie. I absolutely agree.
Chamberlain facing Nipper for the first time. His counterpart, Nipper, squares around to bunt, pulls back. We saw in the bottom of that first inning, Laramie squared around to punt, got a runner thrown out. So it looks like both teams are going to utilize small ball in this elimination game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nipper steps out, gets a few signs from Kalen Hill at third base.
You get the feeling both Hill and Lozano think that runs are going to come out at premium in this game. So anytime they got base runners, they're going to move them over however they need to.
Absolutely, and once again, Nipper was squaring around. That one missed in the dirt, so falling behind 2-0 is Chamberlain. And sometimes it's tough as a pitcher when you see a guy squaring around to sacrifice himself. It looks easy. Sometimes it's tough to find that plate. Nipper squaring around again, and another pitch in the dirt. It's 3-0, and Chamberlain struggling a little bit getting going in the second.
Yeah, it's such a strong first, and then you allow that single. Sometimes it can get into your head a little bit, especially like we talked about. This offense is going to make a run, and anytime they get on base, it makes you wonder, oh no, is this the start of it?
Absolutely, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Grant Nipper, and Shane Taggart steps to the plate. We'll see if he's squaring around to bunt as well now with 2 guys on. They sure seemed committed to bunting right there.
So there's 3 things that I've noticed throughout the week that translate to postseason success, at least this year. No errors, try to get your walks, and your bottom part of the order needs to produce. And that is exactly what we're seeing from Casper right now.
Absolutely. I think those are 3 huge keys when you can play clean and when you can execute good baseball. That's usually the team that comes out on top in the postseason.
Yeah, and again, if you can get that bottom half of the order to produce, especially when you've got a top half like what Casper has, it just makes it so much more difficult.
And this time, Taggart gets the bunt down. Morris pops out of his catcher stance and safe at first base. Malone didn't have his foot on the base, and that is going to be bases loaded. And Chamberlain slipped coming off the mound there. He ended up flat on his backside, and he's got some serious mud on the back of his pants and jersey.
It's good to see him get up because it looked like he took his bell might have come off the turf there. But it's good to see him get up after that. That looked like it could have hurt.
Absolutely. What do you think on that one? Hit or error?
Oh, I mean, it was
tough
cleanly picked up by the catcher, but the throw it was a bullet. I think they would have beat him by half a step, but so I would say error.
All right, I'll go E2 with you. I agree. And Chamberlain misses outside. It's Cooper Hack getting his first look at Ryan Chamberlain. Chamberlain in a bit of a jam early on. I'm going to ask Tony Fontes. He said he didn't go around.
They did just assign an error on the scoreboard.
All right. Bases loaded. Chamberlain deals, and this one called strike. So a ball and a strike on Hack, and as we mentioned, that top of the order, as you just said, bottom of the order, kind of setting the table right now for Casper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chamberlain kicks, deals, big swing and a miss by Cooper Hack, and a strikeout here would be best case scenario for Ryan Chamberlain.
I absolutely agree on that one. I mean, you've got runners, you've got bases loaded. Against any other team, I'm thinking, okay, you can allow the run, but against this one, I think it's very important that you keep it quiet.
Absolutely, and the corners are playing in, so I'd presume a ground ball to them. They'll come through the plate and try to erase that run as that one is flared out into right field. Charging hard on it is Moore, and it's going to drop right in front of Moore. He's going to fire to the cut man, and that is going to be an RBI single for Cooper Hack, and the bases stay loaded for Casper.
And they get that all-important first run in, and now this offense got a chance. They're doing what they do best.
Absolutely, and that brings up Justin Wicks, and Wicks, the 9-hole hitter. So what you said early on in this broadcast is really starting to come to fruition for the Casper Oilers.
Yeah, now you got bases loaded, 9-hole hitter, nobody down. You're going to see Braden Barr and Morgan Pickett at least, maybe even Cole Duckett, unless you get a really well-hit ground ball.
As I think that's what Ryan Chamberlain needs to start doing a little bit more of, is jumping ahead of these Casper hitters, pitching ahead in the count. It becomes so much easier when you're ahead rather than when you're behind.
Yeah, I think right now it's going to be, you got to work quick. You got to work quick if you're Chamberlain and do some ground outs. At this point, I think you can trade the outs for the runs, but man, this Casper offense is like a boulder rolling downhill. All it takes is one little push and before you know it, they are rolling at full speed.
I totally agree. It's almost like they feed off of each other. They see a couple guys get on base, and they're like, man, I can do that. Pitch from Chamberlain, and that one's skied into right field as well. Tatum Moore coming in on it. Moore under it this time. He makes the play for out number 1, and the throw is coming in.
What a
and
shot!
What a throw
What a
from
shot!
Tatum Moore, and that is a double play for the Laramie Rangers, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
That is perfectly executed. That throw was absolutely beautiful. Did not make Morris do anything. That was beautifully done.
No, Morris almost deked the runner, it looked like. He was just kind of standing there, and then as soon as he caught it, slapped the tag down. That was a heck of a throw from Tatum Moore.
That is huge.
Chamberlain back to the top of the lineup. Barr grounded out to second base his first time around, and Laramie all of a sudden looking like they may be able to get out of this with just the one run.
Absolutely.
Chamberlain going to pick over at Cooper Hackey, dives back in safely. And to me, bases loaded, no outs. If you can get out of that with just one run, that's a huge win.
That is huge, and especially the way they were able to throw that runner out at home. That's a momentum shifter.
Absolutely. You're feeling a little down, letting guys on, letting that one run in. And now kind of have some energy if you're the Laramie Rangers.
Oh, yeah, and the crowd can give that to you after a play like that.
No doubt about it. Pitch is a called strike. Good
Nice.
fastball from Chamberlain against Barr as he looks to retire Barr for the second time in this ballgame. Runners at the corners for Casper. So it looked like Casper was ready to maybe jump out way ahead, but we'll see what the rest of this inning has in store. Chamberlain deals, and that one's hit well into center field. That's chasing Dodd back. Dodd going back on it, and Dodd makes the sliding play. What a play by Garrett Dodd to end the inning. Holy cow. Garrett Dodd makes the outstanding play, but Casper does get one on the inning, leaves a couple of men on. They lead it 1-0. You're watching the 2021 American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
When your vehicle needs new tires, any tire store can get you back on the road. But only Plains Tire can get you rolling again with the peace of mind that you were treated well, paid a fair price, and that you'll be taken care of for the life of the tire. At Plains Tire, trained tire technicians mount and expertly balance your new tires, replace the valve stems, and hand check each lug nut to make sure it's all tight and secure. Plus, you'll get lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations only at Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Visit plainstire.com.
difference that sets Freeway Tire apart from other tire stores is the fact that we care. We care about the customer service we provide, we care about selling quality products at fair prices, and we care about your vehicle. So when you're looking for tires or having work done on your vehicle, everything from maintenance to major repairs, make sure you take it to the company that really cares, Freeway Tires, on Bear River Drive in Evanston. Stop in today or schedule an appointment with us online at freewaytires.com.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
And we're back at the Union broadcast booth at Cowboy Field, and the first pitch from Ryan Chamberlain is in there for a strike. Pickett, Douglas, and Wilcox due up for the Oilers. Chamberlain working quickly as that one's put right back up the middle. Good swing by Pickett, and he reaches base safely for the second time, and that ball was smoked back up the middle.
Yeah, great hit by Pickett. Although, judging from the tournament, you don't expect anything else.
No, absolutely not. That baseball was hit extremely well, and now steps in the ever-dangerous Colt Douglas. And this Casper team had the second place finish at the A-State tournament. I told you this before we got going. Douglas was on the runner-up team and still won state tournament MVP. That's how good he was in that tournament just a year ago. He's going to square around a bunt and called strike. And boy, not very often do you see your three-hole hitter squaring around a bunt, but in an elimination game, you got to put everything on you can. As you mentioned earlier, every run matters.
Absolutely. And you know what? Everything is going to matter in this game because it's such a huge game. This isn't like the next game where one team is playing for their lives, the other one is in trouble. It's both teams are playing for their seasons, really.
Absolutely. Winner gets to play on the final day of the state tournament, a potential state championship game. Douglas fouls that up and out of play, and the loser gets to go home and hang out for the rest of the summer. So I know that neither of these teams want to do that just yet.
Oh, you want to keep playing. Want to go complete the job.
Exactly.
For these four teams, you're so close to doing that. You are so close to doing that.
No doubt about it. As moving on the pitch is Pickett. That pitch in the dirt, what a play by Morris, but sliding in safely is Pickett. And that's so tough on a catcher when it's a ball in the dirt and you have to try to throw it to second. Just almost impossible to make that throw.
Yeah.
Douglas now with a chance to drive in a run with that leadoff base runner at second after the stolen base. Chamberlain, high leg kick, and Douglas rolls that one over down the first base line. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Douglas. Cole Douglas. Don't see many American Legion players with a full beard like Douglas rocks.
That is. I would think that Casper probably has the all-hair team of the tournament.
This is upstairs to Douglas. The team that I would say maybe gives them the run for their money is Rock Springs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were only in for a couple of days.
They're led by their coach, Rocky Rondinelli, has that big beard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the team. That was my takeaway from them after day one was, man, these guys got some hair out in Rock Springs. Chamberlain deals, and Douglas shoots that into left field. Chavez under it, and that's going to get over the head of Chavez. And Pickett's going to be waved home. He's going to score easily. That ball rolls all the way to the fence, and that is going to be another run. And it's almost like Chavez didn't see that or wasn't playing the wind.
I think he lost it in the sun. I think there's a good chance of that because he's about a step in front of it. If he just takes a step back, that's in his glove. But I think he might have lost it in the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what happened. He definitely didn't see it all that well. We just looks like the flag is blowing out to left
Yeah,
field.
the wind could not help either.
No, the wind could have pushed that further over his head. Nonetheless, it's an unfortunate situation for the Rangers as Wilcox shoots that one to the right side. Had some serious spin on it, but that's going to be the first out of the inning. Cole Douglas does advance to third base.
Wind blowing away Ben Malone's hat. It was like a tumbleweed going all the way to second base there for a minute.
No kidding.
The Wyoming wind has made a triumphant return. Let's just put it that way.
No doubt about it. And we've been pretty lucky. It's been fairly nice throughout the week over in the Gem City of the Plains, but tonight a little bit windy.
Yep. That flag blowing straight out to left field.
Yeah. As Chamberlain facing Wagner, and that pitch misses. Wagner had a single, came around to score the first run of the game. His last at-bat. He was the guy that got things going for the Oilers just an inning ago. And that one is a called strike. Good pitch by Chamberlain.
And Chamberlain's made a lot of good pitches this game. I mean, you look at it, it's only a 2-0 game. Definitely nothing to panic about. But now he got that third run, and there's a bit of it, not a big difference, but a bit of a difference between a 2-run lead and a 3-run lead.
Absolutely. You just start to press a little bit more as the lead extends in
Yep.
an elimination game and you get deeper into it. I know it's only the third inning, but it's tough to not panic a little bit. That's where, the Laramie coaching staff is just going to have to calm everybody down and say, take a deep breath. 3 runs isn't anything. 2 runs right now. We'll see if Casper can drive Douglas in.
And you got to remember, this is what Casper does. They're going to make a run. They're going to put runs on the board. You can do that the same way. You can't stop them. I don't think that maybe post 6 can stop them. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I hope we'll see. We'll see. We find out that. But this is just
shot
what
to
they
the third
do.
baseman, and what a play by Jenkins. And now Douglas is hung up in between home and third, and the tag is going to be put on, and I believe that's the shortstop Hogsett that actually puts the tag on him. Moving up to second on the play was Samson Wagner, and Cole Douglas did a really good job of staying in that rundown so his player could get to second base.
He really took his time with it. And then Laramie does a good job finishing it up because it's easy to kind of get speed jammed in that situation, like make a bad throw or something like that. But they did a good job kind of finishing it off.
Absolutely. Billy Jenkins did a good job of snagging that and getting in between the runner and the base and giving him nowhere to go. As that one's hit well by Nipper, and Chavez going back on it. This time Chavez makes the play for out number 3. So really good job by Ryan Chamberlain. He dances out of danger once again. 2-0. Casper leads it. You're watching the 2021 American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
Gee, Tommy, you look amazing. Did you try something different with your enamel?
No way. I wouldn't do anything to alter these pearly whites, but I did see Dr. McKay Frankham, who told me if I didn't floss, I could miss up 35% of food particles.
Really? He told you that?
Yep, and you know what? He's 100% right. I started flossing, and now I look better than ever.
Wow, I want to see Dr. McKay Frankham.
Well, give him a call, 307-789-8910. Easy to remember, right?
That's super easy. Dr. McKay Frankham at 307-789-8910. I'll call today.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
And we are back from the Union broadcast booth. Grant Storebo, ELAN OLLIFF, bringing you the action from this first game of the day between Laramie and Casper. And it kind of feels like two boxers just feeling each other out early on. And this tournament's brought to you by the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Reminds you to buckle up for Life Wyoming, every ride, every time. And what do you think about the early stages of this ball game? We're in the bottom of the third.
Well, you're absolutely right. I think they're done feeling each other out. I think we know Casper is going to, I mean, they got runs. They're going to put runners on, and now it's on Laramie. Continue playing good defense, but you got to get some runners on now yourself.
Absolutely, as Nipper into his third inning of work misses upstairs. Going to be 9-1-2, Malone, Morris, and Dodd. As that one is a called strike on the outside corner. A ball and a strike on Malone. Malone not getting his first look at Nipper until the third inning. Nipper's really done a good job of working through some base runners. One misses low and nearly in the dirt, breaking ball from Grant Nipper, and this is where a 9-hitter is so important to turn it over to the top of the order.
Yeah, I think you got to get on for Morris and Dodd.
And that one shot to the right side. Braden Barr able to scoop it up, and that was a pretty good play by Barr for out number 1. Ben Malone retired. That ground out by Malone does bring up Aiden Morris. Morris reached on that error by the third baseman, Shane Taggart. Each team with an error early on in this ballgame.
Yeah, and it's been a generally cleanly played game. But again, I think right now the ball's in Laramie's court. You got to get base runners.
No doubt about it, as that first pitch misses outside. Nipper falling behind Aiden Morris. And that was an error on Taggart in the last at-bat of Morris, but it was going to be a tough play, and Morris hit that ball pretty well.
Yeah.
Nipper out of the windup, and that one misses upstairs. 2-0. Morris in control of this at-bat right now. Nipper looking to get back in the strike zone, and he does so with fastball, skies it on the infield. Under it is Taggart, and Taggart makes the play. And you're right, we see some hats blowing around all over the place right now. It's howling in Laramie.
It was nice while it lasted.
Hey, you knew you weren't going to be able to avoid it all week long. We were going to have a day where the wind blew.
Yeah. I wonder if it makes some of these teams feel more at home, like, this is what I'm used to.
I know, it kills me when you go play some of those out-of-state teams and it's blowing like 10 miles an hour, and they're like, man, it's windy. You're like, no, it's not.
You're like, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute.
Exactly. You want to come play over here. A check swing by Dodd was fouled off. And this one swung through a Nipper. He reached back and got that one.
Nipper has been really, really impressive in this game thus far. I mean, sometimes you're going to run into a guy when it's just his day to shine, and there's not much you can do about it. Right now, Nipper looks very strong.
Absolutely, and though it's just his fourth start, he does have 28 innings pitched, has a 3-1 record and a 2.5 ERA, so he really has pretty good stats. Just seems to be not a guy that gets a ton of innings. Misses outside, and some of the Casper defense was jogging in there. I think they thought that was strike 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the third inning. Garrett Dodd at the plate. Nipper deals. That one misses in the dirt. And boy, he's missed a few like that where Cole Douglas has had to make a good stop.
Yeah, and the good thing is that Laramie has not had anyone on to take advantage of those. If you're Casper, that's a good thing. If you're Laramie, it's just kind of like, come on, if you just get on, we can bring someone in.
Absolutely. And that one's called strike 3 on the outside corner, and that will do it for Laramie. They go down in order in the third inning, and Grant Nipper looking very good. You're watching the Wyoming State Baseball Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
In May of 2019, Uintah County School District Number 1 became the first school district in Wyoming to achieve a certified level 1 on high reliability schools by the Rosanna Leadership Center. We're focusing on 3 levels. Level 1 is a safe and collaborative culture. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. And Level 3 is a guaranteed and viable curriculum. We are certified Level 1 in safe and collaborative culture. This is Superintendent Ryan Thomas. Congratulations to everyone in our district. Keep up the great work.
Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Red Devils! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
broadcast booth from Cowboy Field, offering high-speed internet for your home and office. All the internet you need for streaming movies and gaming for the whole family. Visit unionwireless.com or stop by your local Union office for all the details. Ryan Chamberlain into his 4th inning of work. He's going to be facing the bottom third of this Casper lineup. Shane Taggart, Cooper Hack, and Justin Wicks due up as it's ball 1 for Chamberlain. And that one shot foul up and out of play, and another one off the light pole. That's the second one in 2 days we've seen off the light pole. Chamberlain kicks, deals, and that pitch misses in the dirt. Shane Taggart reached, or no, excuse me, he popped out. Excuse me, made an error. He squared around a bunt, and that pitch misses upstairs. It is 3 balls and a strike, so Chamberlain falling behind early in this at-bat.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier. He's got to get first pitch strikes.
And that pitch is grounded out to the second baseman, Ben Malone. So he works through falling behind the hitter, Shane Taggart, right there. Gets the ground out for out number 1. He's still looking for his first 1-2-3 inning, which is something I think Chamberlain is fairly used to, having those 1-2-3 innings for the Laramie Rangers.
Yeah, he's been, like I said, he's been their guy pretty much all season. I mean, Chavez has definitely been one to watch as well, but I mean, they brought Chamberlain in for a reason.
Chamberlain out of the windup, and he misses upstairs to Cooper Hack. Hack had an RBI single his last time, dumped one in front of Tate Moore to drive in the first run of the game. As Hack skies that on the infield, that's chasing Hogsett back, and Hogsett loses it in the sun, and that is going to be the easiest single Cooper Hack ever gets in his life.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hogsett lost it in the sun, didn't realize where it was until it was too late, because you saw him kind of duck down thinking it was going to make contact with him.
Absolutely. He knew he was close to where that baseball was going to come down, but I think you're right. I think he was staring right up into the sun and just unable to make the play.
Yep.
That's an unfortunate turn of events if you're the Rangers, looking like you're going to get 2 outs instead, a man on with just 1 out. And Justin Wicks to the plate. He, of course, flew into right field, and the incredible throw by Tate Moore to erase a run at home plate. That was what happened in Wicks' last at-bat.
Yeah, and you got to, if you're Ryan Chamberlain, you just got to put that out of your mind. Realizing, oh, I should be up 2 right now instead of just 1. So you got to just put that out of your mind and get ready for the next batter.
Wicks squaring around a bunt and pulls back. And it's one of those things where we saw Chamberlain last night play shortstop for the Laramie Rangers, so it's one of those ones where you're frustrated, you know it's not your main shortstop out there, but it's just one of those things out of your control.
Yep.
Chamberlain picks over at Hack a couple times, and we'll see if Coach Kalen Hill wants to keep the bunt on with Wicks, as that top of the order is right around the corner. Wicks not squaring around. That pitch misses outside, a ball and a strike.
If you're Laramie, I think you need to stop him pretty quick, because if you get to that top of the order again, they're starting to warm up. This will be their 3rd time seeing Chamberlain. It could spell trouble for the Rangers.
Absolutely, and I think Chamberlain has been as efficient as he would like to be today. You know, this is one where he's in the 4th inning, pitch count already getting up there. I'm not sure what the exact number is, but I know it's higher than what he would like it to be at this stage of the game. Ball and 2 strikes on Wicks, and Wicks gonna have to swing the bat here. No bunting on 2 strikes, I would presume. Chamberlain set at the belt, slide step, and that one's hit well to the shortstop. That's scooped up by Hogsett. He flips it to Malone. Malone's turn is not in time, and it's going to get by the first baseman, but a good job by catcher Aiden Morris getting back there, backing that up, limiting that to just 1 base runner. Ooh.
Nice job by the shortstop, Hogsett, to get that lead runner out, because now it's 2 down, and now you're taking on that top of the order. You've had some success against this top of the order early, and if you can just get 1 more out, then you can kind of avoid that scary moment where you'd have to face Barr, Duckett, and Douglas in a row.
Absolutely, and Barr is the one who steps to the plate. He's been retired twice by Chamberlain, but Pickett, who's standing in the on-deck circles, reached twice against Chamberlain, so he would really like to get Barr right in this at-bat.
And that is the key to getting him. Through first pitch strike, go right at him.
No doubt about it. And there's just so much more you can do on the mound when you throw a first pitch strike. When you fall behind, the hitter pretty much knows you're going to come at him with a fastball more than likely. And so when you jump ahead, all 3, 4, however many pitches Chamberlain has come into play.
Chamberlain definitely keeping a close eye on Wicks.
This time Chamberlain works quickly, and that one's shot to the second baseman. Good play by Malone. Malone fires the first in time, and Chamberlain gets another 0, keeps this score right where it's at. You're watching the American Legion State Baseball Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
Toronto Valley Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution. When you become a member, you are an owner of the credit union. We believe in people over profit, and that impacts the way we do business from our overall structure down to the smallest detail. Our philosophy sets us apart, and we're here for you. Earn more with our high-yield checking account, start a savings goal, check out our competitive loans, and much more. Become a member today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. Member NCUA.
This First Bank of Wyoming broadcast of Outlaws Baseball is brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and he can help you get rid of migraines and allergies.
And we are back in Cowboy Field. STOREBO, ELAN, OLLIFF, bringing you the game on mylocalradio.com. Every game of this state tournament has been on mylocalradio.com. It's been brought to you by the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. The Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition reminds you to buckle up for life, Wyoming. Every ride, every time. And we expected a good game in this one, and we have not been disappointed.
No, not at all. And you get the feeling that this Laramie offense is kind of like that sleeping giant. They're eventually going to wake up and make a game out of this. I mean, it still is a game. 2-0 is nothing. This Laramie team can come back. We saw them come back down, I think, down by 3 on night 1 when they beat Jackson in walk-off fashion. So, and who knows, Brandon Chavez could be the guy to get it started right now.
Absolutely. He'd be a very good guy. Been one of the best hitters on this Laramie squad all year long, and he's getting his second look at Nipper, and Nipper jumps ahead of Chavez.
Well, it's like what we talked about. It's important to get that first pitch strike because you said there's so much more you can do.
Absolutely. And that one is shot foul up and out of play. It is 0-1. Excuse me, 0-2 on Chavez. And I think that's been the difference between Nipper and Chamberlain on the mound right now. Chamberlain's fallen behind some of these Casper guys, and Nipper's been really going at him and attacking. And that breaking ball is hit well, but just foul on the right side of first base. And well, would have either been a great play by the first baseman, Cooper Hacker, extra bases down the line.
That wind is getting stronger. The pine trees to our left is just doing the wave for us.
Absolutely. It takes a lot to get these big pine trees going.
Absolutely.
That one is a called strike 3, and that's back-to-back strikeouts dating back to the last inning. So Nipper starting to really find his groove here in the middle innings.
Yeah, he's done a really good job keeping these Laramie batters off balance and really just kind of keeping them guessing right now. No one really knows what he's going to do.
No, absolutely not. Just 2 hits thus far for the Laramie Rangers. As Nipper, breaking ball in there for a strike.
That was a beautifully placed pitch. Had a lot of drop on it that just hit the window.
Yeah, that was a really good one. And that's what we've been seeing Nipper do. It hasn't just been the fastball on those first pitches. That one's fouled up and out of play. And guess what? Grant Nipper in another 0-2 count.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, this is the big difference between the two pitchers. Nipper's able to get out in front. He's getting really, really aggressive with these guys.
Hogs it. Waiting the 0-2 pitch, looking to battle back, and that one misses just inside. 1-2.
Almost got a piece of him, and right now, if you're Laramie, you need a base runner any way you can get it.
Absolutely. You don't get out of the way if that thing's coming at you right now. And that one, good job checking your swing if you're hogs it. Sometimes the high heat looks awfully appealing, but it's tough to get the hands to. Hogs it, awaiting the 2-2 pitch from Nipper, and that one misses way outside, and we'll have a payoff pitch.
Yeah, he went down 0-2. He's done a good job working it back into.
That's always a tough thing to do as a batter, is work back, but it's always good when you get a pitch like that where you don't even have to think about swinging at it. You go, nope, that's not even close. Payoff pitch from Nipper on its way. Called strike 3 at the knees. Is out number 2, and that is 3 straight strikeouts, 3 looking strikeouts for the Laramie Rangers, dating back to the final out of the previous inning.
The pitcher,
4th strikeout of the day for Grant Nipper. So he's got that pitch working as of late, and Ryan Chamberlain going to look to change the Rangers' fortune. One misses in the dirt. Give a shout out to the grounds crew here at Laramie. They've done a fantastic job. I heard they were out early today working on the home plate area for a long time, and the field just looks really good. It is 2-0. It's always takes a lot of people to run a state tournament. This one has been very well run.
Absolutely. It's been a great week so far here in Laramie.
Chamberlain way ahead, 3-0. So Nippert, after recording 2 straight strikeouts, in trouble against Chamberlain just a little bit with 2 outs. Nipper out of the windup, the 3-0 pitch. This one right down Broadway, 3-1.
Nice pitch by Nipper, making one where he needed to. Of course, Chamberlain's going to take all the way.
Nipper, the 3-1 pitch, and that one shot to the right side. Braden Barr, been a busy man. He makes another play, and it is 3 up, 3 down for the Rangers in the 4th. This has been the Wyoming Legion State Baseball Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
What do you do when you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes. For the tooth fairy. So the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks, and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515.
Broadcast booth at Cowboy Field in Laramie, Wyoming. Been a heck of a game thus far. Really a quick game. I think we both maybe thought this was going to be an more offensive game. It hasn't been.
No, well, it's just hats off to Ryan Chamberlain and the Laramie defense. Only 2 runs for this high-powered Casper offense through 4 innings. We'll see if they can keep them at bay here.
Absolutely, and it's going to be tough to do. Morgan Pickett, Cole Douglas, and Caden Wilcox, as it's a ball, or 0-2, excuse me, on Pickett. But this is the part of the order you really have to watch out for the Casper Oilers. Chamberlain, way ahead of Pickett right now, though, and that fastball misses up and away. A ball and 2 strikes, and it would be nice to see Chamberlain get his first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game. Chamberlain set at the belt, slide steps, and that fastball is a called strike 3, and Morgan Pickett goes down on strikes, and Ryan Chamberlain off to a good start against the heart of this Casper Oilers order. Cole Douglas steps to the plate. He doubled his last time around, flew out to left field the previous time, so he is 1 for 2. Douglas, a left-handed hitting catcher, steps in for his 3rd time against Ryan Chamberlain. Chamberlain deals. This one misses low and away. And It's a ball and no strikes to Cole Douglas. Chamberlain working very quickly in this 5th inning. That fastball fouled up and out of play, and that's the direction Cole Douglas has gone. A lot of times you see really good, strong hitters work just the pull side. Douglas, a very good hitter. He'll use the whole field, and he's shown that in this one. Chamberlain set at the belt, high leg kick, the 1-1 pitch, misses outside. Pretty good spot from Chamberlain there, just off the outside edge, maybe a touch low. Chamberlain looking for out number 2 in this 5th inning. High leg kick, fastball, called strike, and that's a great spot. That's a great spot from Ryan Chamberlain. That's a tough pitch to hit.
Absolutely, and now Douglas, I think, is guessing a little bit on the zone because he thought that was going to be a ball for sure. I would not be surprised to see Chamberlain go there again.
And he does go there, and Douglas gets around on it this time, shoots one down the right field line. Douglas is going to be trucking for second. The throw from Tate Moore is going to be cut off. Douglas slides in with his second double of the day. And how about that adjustment from Cole Douglas?
That was brilliant. I mean, Chamberlain put it a little bit more outside, but you could tell he's trying to hit that same spot. Douglas was ready for it, knowing where the zone was going to be, and absolutely was expecting it.
Absolutely. That just tells me something about the baseball IQ from Cole Douglas. He knew that that was a really good pitch from Ryan Chamberlain, the pitch before, that he was probably going to go back to it, and he was ready for it. Half the battle in hitting is being ready for the pitch that's going to be thrown to you. A double by Douglas brings up Caden Wilcox. Wilcox is 0 for 2, a pair of ground outs, as that's a called strike on the inside corner. Good pitch from Chamberlain. Chamberlain up around that 80 pitch mark in the 5th inning. He hogs it, keeping Douglas close, and Chamberlain going to step off. He seems a little concerned with Douglas out at second base. Now Aiden Morris wants to go talk things over. And what do you think Laramie has to do to get back into this ball game?
Right now, don't let that run score. I mean, if you let this Casper team go up 3-0, and with the way Grant Nipper is pitching, it's going to become, I mean, it's already going to be a hard task to come back with the way he's pitching. But right now, I think it's very important that you don't let Douglas score.
You're 100% right, especially after you got Pickett the first out of the inning. That was a huge out to get things going. Pitch to Wilcox is swung on and missed and foul tipped. I couldn't tell if that got fouled or not. Home plate umpire Nevin Jacobs says it did, and that's huge because Douglas stays put.
Oh, yeah, that would have been big.
All I saw was the ball shoot behind Aiden Morris, and I wasn't certain. 0-2 on Wilcox. Chamberlain looking for his second strikeout of the inning, and this one's fouled back straight at us. 0-2, and we'll do it again. Chamberlain, I don't know that he's had his best stuff today, but he's really battled for the Laramie Rangers.
Up 0-2, this is big.
And here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball, and that's one shot to second base.
Nice grab
by Malone, and that's going to be a double play. What a play by Ben Malone, and Riley hogs it. Cole Douglas didn't freeze on the line, and that's a double play. And that was a great play.
That was a beautiful play.
And Ryan Chamberlain does get his first 1-2-3 inning after that double play. You're watching the American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
There's a reason Rocky Mountain Yeti is Southwest Wyoming's #1 dealer. Come in and see what all the buzz is about. Voted Best of Evanston by you. Best of Evanston in new car sales, used car sales, and Best of Evanston in service. We have the best selection of inventory in town, paired with our legendary 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Come see us today at one of our 2 locations, 100 Wasatch Road or Yeti on 3rd next to Walmart. Let us help get you on your next adventure today. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
Time flies, especially when you're having fun. This is Jeremy Rex, manager at T-Bar S in Evanston. It's hard to believe that we've been here almost a year with our new management team and staff. Did you know that you can have your vehicle detailed, your windshield replaced, chip repair done, or get your trailer refinished or rewired at T-Bar S? Of course, we are a full-service collision repair shop, too. You can even change your oil and your brakes. Visit T-Bar S today. Let T-Bar fix your car. 515 County Road, Evanston.
And we are back from the Union Sports broadcast booth today at Cowboy Field, offering high-speed internet for your home and office. All the internet you need for streaming, movies, and gaming for the whole family. Visit unionwireless.com or stop by your local Union office for all the details. And Elon, Laramie must have listened to you. They did let Cole Douglas score. What do they got to do offensively here to get their first run across?
Well, now I think getting that leadoff man on is big, because you've got Billy Jenkins, and then you've got the bottom of the order. If you can somehow flip this thing to the top, then you obviously would have someone coming in. But I think you got to get the leadoff man on. It's little battles now.
Absolutely. I think that's a good place to start. It's going to be a tough one against Grant Nipper. He's set down 7 in a row. Back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings for Nipper as the 1-0 pitch. This one's a called strike on the outside corner to Billy Jenkins. Jenkins struck out his first time around, seeing Nipper for just the second time in this ballgame. Nipper kicks, deals, curveball fouled off, and Nipper ahead in the count 1-2.
And this is what we've seen all game, is him just get ahead in counts. I think you need to make him throw, somehow get ahead of him.
Absolutely. And the 1-2 pitch on the way misses outside. Good pitch from Nipper. That was just barely off that outside corner. Good take by Billy Jenkins. I think you're right. If the Laramie Rangers could have some long at-bats, make Nipper work just a little bit harder, is that one ball 3, and we're in a payoff pitch situation. So that's exactly what Billy Jenkins done.
You mentioned earlier Nipper's retired 7 straight. You need to break that streak, and you need to do it now.
Payoff pitch from Nipper on its way and shot down the right field line, just foul. That was nearly extra bases for Billy Jenkins, almost exactly like the one we saw Cole Douglas spin down the line. Obviously Douglas hits left-handed, but almost the same spot. We'll do the payoff pitch once again, and here it comes, and that one misses in the dirt. So there you go, the Laramie Rangers get their leadoff base runner on.
And that is the first base runner in 7 batters for Laramie.
First baseman.
Maybe you can set something up here.
Absolutely. This is the before Billy Jenkins walk right there. Diego Medina was the last guy to reach base on Grant Nipper, so we'll see if he can get another single. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Nipper gives a look over to Jenkins, squaring around a bunt. Good stop by Cole Douglas. He smothered that baseball.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be now for Laramie taking advantage of opportunities that are given to them.
No doubt about it. And the catching, I've been very impressed with the catching in this tournament, whether it's Douglas or Aiden Morris or Caden Anderson from Cheyenne. It's just been great play behind the dish all week long.
Absolutely agree with that right there. It's been so good to watch these guys just do their thing. I mean, not very many runs have come in on pass balls at all.
No, it's been a very clean game behind the plate. Nipper slide step, squaring around a bunt is Medina, and he fouls that one off. So it is 1-2, and that's a kind of an unfortunate situation.
67 pitches thrown by Grant Nipper, according to Game Changer, 84 for Ryan Chamberlain.
Okay, so yeah, that's a big difference when. And now Nipper still needs to work through this inning, so we'll see where he's at when he's done with it. But advantage Nipper in that department.
Absolutely.
Nipper working out of the stretch, and that one shot to the shortstop. Caden Wilcox sets his feet, fires the second in time, and the return throw gets him at first.
Wow.
And
it took him off.
Tony Fontes at first base says that the first baseman, Cooper Hack, pulled his foot, and that's a huge break for the Laramie Rangers.
Here comes Kalen Hill. He's going to want an explanation on that one.
Yeah, and that was an interesting one. Obviously, I think Tony Fontes, he's a Cheyenne umpire. I've had a lot of games playing and coaching with Tony.
Very short conversation, and now he just wants them to get together and talk it over.
Either way, there's going to be at least one out. The out at second was out. Good play by Wilcox and Barr. The ball definitely beat Diego Medina to first base. It's all a matter of whether he was on or not. And
call stands.
Yep, and
that's big.
No doubt about it. That changes the complexion of this inning. 2 outs, nobody on, 1 out, and a man on. And all of a sudden, the Rangers still have some life with the bottom of the order coming up. Tatum Moore steps to the plate. He grounded out to Braden Barr in his last at-bat. And Barr's played a really good second base today. He's gotten a lot of opportunities.
He absolutely has. I mean, he's done a great job all tournament. I mean, we talk a lot about how the offense is the calling card of this team, but the defense is, like I said, they're no scrubs, but they're getting the job done today. I mean, this is very much a defensive game.
Nipper slide steps, and that's a called strike at the knees of Tatum Moore, and it is 0-2 on Moore. The way Nipper's thrown, when he gets ahead of guys 0-2, he becomes very difficult.
One thing that just dawned on me, we got 2 teams in this semifinal that were towards the bottom of the conferences last year. This year, they're top 2.
That's a strikeout of Tatum Moore for out number 2 of this 5th inning, and Ben Malone steps to the plate. But yeah, you're right. That's just a testament to how good these coaching staffs are and how they have really built their teams up coming into this season.
I remember going into the season, the big question was about this Casper team because everybody's wondering, okay, what's the Crush and the Oilers together going to look like? The answer is they look like a state contender.
Absolutely, and I think it's one of those things where Casper is a town that's really competitive in every sport, and so there was really no reason for them to have that stretch where they weren't very competitive in baseball. And I think it's really good that the Crush and the Oilers have combined.
Well, and remember, they're only 2 years separated from a state championship.
Absolutely. And that pitch on the way, and Malone taps that back to Nipper. Nipper fields it, flips it underhand to Hack, and that will do it for the Laramie Rangers. They leave 1 man on. Oilers still lead it 2-0. We're going to the 6th with that 2-0 score. You're watching the Wyoming AA State Baseball Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
Whatever takes you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground level rooms on 10 acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including newly renovated rooms, a business office, workout room, outdoor pool, and full service restaurant, plus complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
I'm Kendall Roberts with the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Whether your car is a classic car or a new one, buckle up every time. Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
And we're back from the Union broadcast booth at the AA State Tournament. All these games are on mylocalradio.com. Thanks everybody for tuning in all week long. Still got a couple days of baseball today and tomorrow, and this tournament's brought to you by the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. They remind you to buckle up for life, Wyoming. Every ride, every time. And we were just talking, the script has been flipped. I know that the reputation for Casper is that they're really good offensively. They're showing they can pitch it and play defense today.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. We were talking about it. In a low-scoring game, who do you think would be up front? That would be Laramie, but Casper, their offense has been held in check by Laramie, but they've done a great job defensively keeping Laramie off the board.
Absolutely, like we saw yesterday, 6-0 Casper in that Sheridan game. They turn around and give up 6 runs to Sheridan, and then they go score 6 more of their own. But it's one of those things where we've seen Casper's defense be a little suspect at times, but not today.
No, they have looked great today.
Chamberlain into his 6th inning of work. He's facing Wagner, and that one's fouled up over our heads in the Union broadcast booth, and I think the Union broadcast booth took a shot right there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Samson Wagner, he singled and reached on a fielder's choice. And he shoots that one back up the middle, hogs it, slides over, hogs it, fields it, throws off balance, and that's going to pull the first baseman Medina off the base and get by him.
That nearly hit him.
And that's going to be a leadoff base runner for the Oilers, and that's going to go down as an error on Riley Hogsett. And that was going to be a close play, but I think throwing off balance there just kind of took the throw to his arm side a little.
Yeah.
And now Kalen Hill's going to have a conversation with his batter coming to the plate, and that is pitcher Grant Nipper, who's just been outstanding today.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about a postseason hero. You mentioned it. His numbers were good, small sample size, and I think Coach Hill is looking at him like, hey, I had faith in you in the biggest game of the year at this point, so let's go.
Absolutely. When I was looking at his game-by-game on the mound, he'd only reached that 6-inning mark in a single game once this year, and I'm assuming they'll run him out as Nipper bunts through that one, doesn't foul it off, and it gets by Aiden Morris, and that will advance Samson Wagner 90 feet. And Casper, this is what they've done. They've just been adding one run at a time thus far. The wind, every once in a while, it just picks up. I say that like I'm surprised that the wind is picking up in Laramie, Wyoming.
Well, if Casper brings this one home, it'll be the first run that they've had since the third.
Pitch misses in the dirt. A ball and a strike on Nipper.
And you get the feeling Laramie may have 2 or 3 in them. I don't know if they've got 3 or 4 in them with the way Grant Nipper's playing.
Absolutely. There's only 6 outs remaining offensively for Laramie in this game, so you really got to get things going.
And you got to keep it where it's at.
Nipper fouls that up and out of play, and I think that starts right here. By getting this first out of Nipper with Wagner staying put at second base, whether it's by strikeout or
Pop
ground
out,
out, pop out on the infield, any way that Wagner stays put at second, and there's 1 out on the board. Chamberlain set at the belt, high leg kick, and that one misses up and away from Chamberlain. 2-2. Aiden Morris doing the catching, relaying the signs to Chamberlain, has the one he wants. Gives a look over to Wagner at second. High leg kick, and that one's hit well into center field. Charging hard on it is Dodd. Dodd unable to make the play. Drops in front of him. Man, we've seen a few of those where it's just been kind of a
hang up there for a
just been a blooper, and these outfielders are playing so far back with the wind blowing out. We saw the one that hurt Brandon Chavez that blew over his head, but more have dropped in front of these outfielders than gone over their head.
Yeah. But that was probably one of the best things that could have happened for Laramie's defense. Now you've got to force at any base. Or not, our first, second, and third, not any base, but that also kept the runner at second because it was hit so shallow.
Absolutely. Now you have the double play in order potentially. If you can get a ground ball here, we'll see if Shane Taggart's squaring around a bunt. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And the pickoff move, dang, that was a close play over at second.
That was very close. You know what? A hard hit ground ball along the third base line, if Jenkins able to snare it, could make for some fireworks.
Absolutely. Anyway, we saw the double play help the Rangers in the last inning. That is strike 1 of the at-bat for Chamberlain. Like we said, we saw that inning-ending double play last inning, and the Rangers going to be looking for something similar.
Yep.
Chamberlain kicks, deals, and that one's fouled straight back. And it is 0-2. And now all of a sudden, if you're Chamberlain, you might be sniffing for a strikeout.
Yeah. I don't know if you can play around very long with him, though. I think you go right at him. Go for the 3-pitch strikeout.
Chamberlain has the one he wants from Morris. Here comes that 0-2 pitch, and it's skied on the infield. Going back on it is Medina, and that is out, and that would have been an infield fly with runners at first and second. So that's probably best case scenario.
That is a big out for the Rangers. I mean, there's no doubt about it right now. Chamberlain's in a bit of a jam. That runner at second scores. I don't know. I really don't.
Absolutely. With the way Nipper's throwing, it is going to be tough to get multiple runs on him. But we saw the Laramie Rangers play Cardiac Kids on day 1. They may be trying to do the same on day 4.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Lozano would appreciate if they'd stop doing that. He's probably already lost 2 years due to all the games in this tournament.
Absolutely. That beard's going to turn a little more gray.
I don't know.
Here comes the pitch from Chamberlain. That misses inside, a ball and a strike.
We'll have to ask Bain, does Aaron's beard turn more gray at the end of every season? Is that how that works? No comment.
Ball and a strike on Cooper Hack. Hack 2 for 2 on the day against Chamberlain,
pitch.
and that was a fantastic one.
And a strikeout here would be big. It takes almost everything off the table. It forces the man on deck, Hack, to get to, or excuse me, Wicks to get on base.
There's the curveball, stays upstairs, 2-2. And you're right, and I know we've said it time and time again throughout this broadcast, but the top of the order around the corner would be huge if you could get these next 2 guys out and not let that top hit with guys on base.
Absolutely.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Hack. Chamberlain, leg kick, delivers, fastball, fouled back over the Union broadcast. One of these times we're going to get some action if we get the right angle coming down.
It just like drops perfectly.
Chamberlain, 2-2 pitch once again. This one's hit well into left field. Chavez charging on it. He fields it, and getting the stop sign at third base is Samson Wagner. So another base hit for Cooper Hack, but the run doesn't come in to score. So Laramie still has an opportunity to get out of this.
And that's a credit to Chavez. He knew that was going to be short. He charged it from the get-go, didn't second guess it, and was able to hold that runner at third. That's a big hold.
Absolutely, and with just 1 out, now you have the double play available anywhere. Laramie's going to play back in the middle, roll it up the middle. The corners are in, go through home plate, and we'll see if they can get that ground ball they're looking for.
That would be big.
Chamberlain kicks, deals, fastball in there. That's what you need to do with the bases loaded. You don't want to get into a 3-ball count where you could potentially walk in a run.
Best thing that could happen right now for Laramie is a double play, because if you get 1, you still got Braden Barr up with probably someone on.
Absolutely, it will. We'll see if Wicks can play the hero out of the 9-hole or if Ryan Chamberlain can get him out. They're even at 1-1. One's all over the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
Chamberlain's pitch count has got to be going up. I've got him at 103 according to Game Changer. So this might be his final batter.
Yeah, we will see what the move is for Coach Lozano shortly. That Game Changer not official, but it's close. As that one is a called strike on the outside corner. So we will see. Ryan Chamberlain nodding his head a little bit on the mound. I think he might know what his pitch count is and knows he's getting close to being removed. Chamberlain, the 1-2 pitch, he's set at the belt. And they're going to pick over to second, and that is a bit of a risky play there with a runner on third. If you potentially throw that into center field, you kind of give Casper something for free there. You don't see that very often, picking off at somebody with a guy in front of it. Wicks jogged down and had a couple words from Coach Hill at third base. We'll see what the Oilers have on. A ball and 2 strikes on Wicks. Chamberlain has the one he wants. Leg kick and deliver, and Wicks pops that up on the infield, and that will do it. And like you were just saying, big out.
That's huge. And now you're going to pull Chamberlain. I think you've got no choice. I think he's hit that count. Yeah, he's at 106, so he's done.
And we'll go to break, get the change for you. You're watching the AA State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activity, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here.
And we're back at Cowboy Field. Ryan Chamberlain's day is done. He turns it over to Billy Jenkin. Jenkin in a bit of a tough spot, but he's just needs one out to get out of this.
And all it takes is one pitch, like what we just saw. That was a beautiful blooper that landed right in the glove. Was it Hogsett who was over at shortstop, or
it was Ben Malone? Ben Malone
yeah.
slides to third base, and Chamberlain is going to go in and play second.
Yeah, anyway, great play by Ben Malone to kind of just end that little run right there. But, yeah, I mean, still in a jam. But if you can get out of it, it gives you some momentum.
Absolutely, and Jenkin going to be facing Braden Barr, and he gets strike one. As we've talked about, that's important against this Casper team.
Yeah, and that's something that we've seen Casper do to Laramie a lot. Not so much Laramie doing to Casper.
Jenkin gets that one, and that's going to be shot through the left side. One run going to score. Being waved home is Nipper, and the throw from Chavez is going to be cut off. And that is a two-run single by Braden Barr, and that's a big swing for the Casper Oilers.
That's huge. That is huge. That means if you're Laramie, your offense has to come alive this inning.
Absolutely.
You got to get something. You got to get something.
Absolutely. And Laramie, the home team, so they're going to get two more at-bats, but you really want to keep this score right where it is at 4-0. Give yourself the best opportunity moving into that sixth inning. Pitch misses inside to Morgan Pickett.
And look who does it. It's Braden Barr again.
Absolutely.
Barr. 2 more RPIs. He's been on fire.
Absolutely. This whole Casper squad can swing it, and Barr comes through. That's just his first hit of the day in this one, but boy, it came at a big time. Billy Jenkin, 2-0 behind Pickett, and Cole Douglas. So how dangerous he can be. 2 doubles in this game, waits on deck. Jenkin in there with strike one. 2 balls and a strike. 2 men on for the Oilers. Jenkin on in relief of Chamberlain. That one's hit up the middle by Barr, and putting the tag on a sliding Braden Barr, and that will do it. Good play by Chamberlain out at second, but Laramie has some work to do. They trail it 4-0. This is the American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here.
Back at Cowboy Field in the Union broadcast booth. This whole tournament's been broadcasted on mylocalradio.com, and it's been brought to you by the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. They remind you to buckle up for life, Wyoming, every ride, every time. And if you're the Rangers, it's time to get on Grant Nipper.
Yeah, you've got to get something going. You don't have to get it all back now, but I think you need to cut it in half.
Absolutely. I think a 2-run inning here would give you some confidence going into that 7th inning.
If you get 3, then you're in really, really good shape, but I think you need at least 2.
Absolutely. It is the correct part of the order for Laramie to do it, as that breaking ball misses just inside. It's the top third of the order. Aiden Morris, Garrett Dodd, and Brandon Chavez due up for the Rangers.
The other thing I'm doing if I'm Laramie, I'm trying to take at-bats deep. He's sitting at 75 pitches. He's got 30 to play with before he's out of the game. Right now, I think it's a matter of how we need to get him out and get a new arm in there.
Absolutely, because you get deep into these tournaments and you never know what pitching teams have left, who they're comfortable with going to in a big situation. You know, who knows who Casper has left, but as long as Nipper stays in the game, he seems to be very effective. And Aiden Morris is doing what you just said, 3-2 count, lead off this inning. Out of the windup, Nipper, fastball, and that one's skied into left field. Going back on it is Wagner, and that is going to get over the fence and just foul, says the third base umpire. Nearly a leadoff home run.
The whole stadium just groans. That would have been a heck of a way to start this inning where they need something. But that was a heck of a rip by Aiden Morris.
Absolutely, and that was, I mean, talk about baseball being a game of inches, and it just missed it by a few inches there.
The wind. If that was hit yesterday, the day before, that's gone.
Absolutely. Nipper, the payoff pitch once again. Curveball, and this time Morris skies it into left field. Going back on it is Wilcox, and that's going to drop. And a hard turn at first base, but he's going to retreat. Wilcox from shortstop was trucking it for that one, but fell in that Bermuda Triangle area in between Wilcox and the left fielder Wagner. Leadoff base runner.
All right, that's 6 pitches thrown by Nipper on that one. So that's what they need to do. They got to take the at-bats deep, and then they got to get on base.
Absolutely, and now you've hit the point where you got to get those base runners in as well.
You
know, getting on base isn't enough at this point in the game anymore. But it all starts with base runners. Nipper out of the stretch, and Dodd fouls that up and out of play, so Nipper jumps ahead of Garrett Dodd. 0-1. Dodd 1 for 2, struck out his last at-bat and hit a single way back in the first inning. Nipper comes set, gives a look over to Morris at first base, and that one shot down the left field line and just foul. That's another one that just a few feet from being on the right side of that third base bag.
Yeah, and if how hot that one's rolling, it was headed towards the line. I'm not sure about the speed of Morris, but that could have been one.
Oh yeah, I think that Dodd. I think Morris gets 2 bases there, and Dodd as well would have probably had second and third with nobody out if that's a few feet to the right.
And that's the position you want to give Brandon Chavez. When you got Chavez, Hogsett, and Chamberlain as your next 3 up, so this is your chance if you're Laramie.
Absolutely, those are the guys that you've rode with all season long, and in the postseason, you ride the horses that got you there.
Yeah, and you need those horses to perform.
Absolutely, and that's what they're looking to do in the 6th right here.
And they've done that in this postseason. They have done that in this postseason for Laramie.
Nipper slide steps, and that pitch misses in the dirt, and being aggressive is Aiden Morris.
Good run.
And that is really good base running. He saw that pitch in the dirt. He didn't care where it went. He just saw the down angle of it and took off.
You got to give yourself a chance, and that's exactly what Morris did.
Nipper, 2-2 on Garrett Dodd. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it's a fastball fouled up and out of play. And we'll do the 2-2 pitch again. And the other big thing about that 90 feet is now the double play isn't as much of a threat. Obviously, crazy things can happen, but your traditional double play isn't going to happen.
And now a single also probably may bring him in.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned, the Rangers just looking to crack that scoreboard right now and get something going offensively. Nipper deals, and that one misses outside. Good take by Dodd. We saw him get rung on an outside pitch early in this game. That time, just a touch outside. Nipper has the one he wants from Douglas. This is a big payoff pitch. Just the wind picks up like crazy. Here it comes from Nipper, and Dodd spoils that one. We'll do the 3-2 pitch once again.
And he is taking Nipper's pitch count up right now. Checking in on it now, according to Game Changer, I'm at 85. I don't know what the official pitch count is right now.
Nipper.
89. So he came in with a lot to work with, but through a third of an inning, big walk.
That was a good at-bat from Garrett Dodd. He's one of the veteran guys on this team, and that was a veteran at-bat right there. He knew what he needed to have happen. He knew he needed to go deep into the count, and he knew he needed to get on base, and he did that. Here comes Kalen Hill.
And is that going to do it for Nipper?
This is really the first real trouble that Nipper has been in. First and second, nobody out, and we'll see if he hands the ball to Kalen Hill. I see a Casper Oilers stretching out a little bit just on the other side of the Oilers dugout. So we will see.
This might be a visit from Hill saying, all right, we got someone ready to come in. Just get us there. And if you're Laramie, the momentum's switching, and it switched quick.
Absolutely. This could also be one where you have a guy not quite ready in the bullpen yet. So if you're Kalen Hill, you're going out there and you're wasting time and buying that guy in the bullpen some time to throw some pitches and get ready. It is going to be Nipper still. Yeah, and now you got you talk about 3 seniors on this Laramie team. Brandon Chavez is going to be a Ranger for a long time yet, and he has already put his mark on this postseason. He could do it again right here. Absolutely, and this is a huge spot for Chavez. Nipper starting to labor a little bit late in this game. As we mentioned, 6 innings. He's only done that once so far this year, so this is a little bit uncharted waters for Grant Nipper. That pitch misses in the dirt. Good stop by Cole Douglas.
Great stop by Douglas.
If you could get a free one if you're Laramie, boy, you would sure enjoy it. If one would go to the backstop and you could move those dudes to second and third.
Yep.
1-0 on Chavez.
With nobody down, there's so much you could do right now as if you're Laramie.
Absolutely. Nipper set at the belt, and Chavez is going to square around. Moving on the pitch is
no play.
Morris, and he slides in safely.
No play from Cole Douglas to throw out the runner at third. That was great heads-up base running by Morris.
And Garrett Dodd didn't take off behind him. Oftentimes that backside guy has the easiest stolen base of them all.
Well, I think the reason why is because Cole Douglas had that ball ready to go. If he saw Dodd taking off, I think he gets him at second.
Chavez not squaring around this time. Dodd goes. Chavez skies that. Working his way under it is Pickett, and Pickett unable to make the play in left center field. 1 run going to score. Cruising into second is Garrett Dodd. He obviously had to hold up because he didn't want to get doubled off at first base, but that's how the first run of the game comes in for the Laramie Rangers. And here we go. We got a ball game late.
That was big, and I said it. A chance for Chavez to make his mark on the postseason yet again, and he does it. Now you got Hogsett coming up. He gets on. You got bases loaded for Ryan Chamberlain. So nobody down. Still so much you could do in this game for Laramie.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned, every base runner gets more and more important as this game goes along. Hogsett not squaring to bunt. This one misses upstairs, and Nipper just inching closer to that 105 mark. And boy, we got some people fighting the canopy over to our right. Corners playing in for Casper, defending against the bunt, but I think outs are so valuable right now. I'm not sure I would square around a bunt. That one's flied into right field. Wicks, and that's going to drop in front of Wicks. He just couldn't get it, but the throw comes in, and he throws it over the head of Wilcox. 1 run going to score. That ball's going to get out of play, and I believe that this is going to be a 3rd run for the Laramie Rangers, and nope, they're going to make Brandon Chavez stay put at third base, but nonetheless, that throw from Wicks just sailed over everyone's head, and that is a heck of a turn of events, and all of a sudden, Laramie has the tying run at second base.
Big move there by Laramie as they look to be coming through late in this one. It looks like Coach Kalen Hill's going to pull out Grant Nipper for the day, who did a good job.
And we're going to go to break, take a break during this pitching change, get all the changes for you. You're watching the American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
When you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest, so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes. For the tooth fairy, so the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
And we are back at Cowboy Field, the Union broadcast booth, and we have some changes for you. Kyler Lewis in to pitch for the Casper Oilers, and Samson Wagner is going to slide over to right field, and that is going to bring Grant Nipper. He's going to stay in the game and play left, and I believe that that's all the changes for the Casper Oilers. If we got some wrong, we will update you as we find out. But Grant Nipper, they chased him out of the game after 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And Kyler Lewis in a tough situation.
Yeah, and this is I think this is a situation that gives advantage to that home team. You got the pitcher out who's been shutting you down all day, and it's always a question mark at this level if the new pitchers is a good thing or if it's one they're going to see a little bit better.
Absolutely. Well, we're about to find out as the first pitch from Lewis misses outside. It's 1-0. And the pitch is on its way from Lewis. He's out of the windup, and Chamberlain squares around to bunt, pops one down the right side. That's going to be a run, and a good job by Ryan Chamberlain. Chavez comes in to score, and we have a 4-3 ball game, as that's just the first out of the inning.
And the rest of the runners move over. You got a runner on third now.
Absolutely. And
I told, what do we say? 3 runs and they're in
good
shape.
And you're feeling good, and that 4th run is not very far away.
Jenkins puts this thing out in the outfield. It's a tie ball game.
Absolutely. And that pitch misses outside. And that brings up Lewis is going to try to work through this, as that one's hit well by Jenkins into center field, and that's going to be a base hit. And we have a tie ball game, brand new ball game in the bottom of the 6th.
And listen to that Laramie crowd.
And the Cardiac Kids back at it in this tournament. Holy cow, they've had some comebacks, looking for another one. I will say this isn't the first time Casper's been in a close game. They had a barn burner with Gillette to open this tournament, so both teams very familiar with playing in big situations late in games. And Medina grounds that one to shortstop. That's scooped up by Wilcox. He fires to second for 1. The return throw not in time to get Diego Medina, and that's going to be out number 2, but Medina does reach base safely on the fielder's choice. And man, what an inning this has been.
Great inning for Laramie. You know, we thought the big inning was going to come from Casper coming into this inning, but their defense has held up great up to this point, and it's Laramie that's getting the big inning right now.
Absolutely. If you'd have told me that Laramie had the only 4-run inning, as that one's popped up on the infield, Lewis under it, and Lewis makes the play. Running into him was Cooper Hack, almost a collision, but we have a brand new ball game going into the 7th inning. Laramie gets 4. It's 4-4. You're watching the American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
When you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest, so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes for the tooth fairy, so the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
And we are back at the Union broadcast booth at Cowboy Field, and Union offers high-speed internet for your home and office, all the internet you need for streaming, movies, and gaming for the whole family. Visit unionwireless.com or stop by your local Union office for all the details. And holy cow, this game's done a 180 on us.
It has, but I was just thinking, we saw this with Casper yesterday. Go up by a number, give it all up in an inning, and then they go up again. So Casper is not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be up to the Laramie defense to hold it.
And Cole Douglas steps to the plate, and this is the part of the order you probably want up if you're the Casper Oilers, as Douglas slaps that into left field. Going back on it is Chavez. Chavez still going back on it, still going back, and that's going to one-hop the fence. Cole Douglas is going to pull into second base.
Double.
His third double of the game.
That is impressive. Cole Douglas, one of the offensive beasts of this team, has come through in the biggest of moments for the Oilers.
Absolutely, and that one right there, no different. Caden Wilcox steps to the plate. Wilcox 0 for 3 on the day, so he's looking to right the ship a little bit. Not many days Caden Wilcox goes 0 for this Casper Crush team.
Yeah, and that makes it a little bit more dangerous, because if anyone's due in the game right now, it's Wilcox.
And Wilcox squares around a bunt that misses upstairs from Jenkin, and Jenkin in a bit of a tough situation. You know, you just get 4 runs. You want to come back and have that shutdown inning and go get the 0.
Yeah.
Jenkin slide steps, and Wilcox no, he did not. Did the home plate umpire say? No, he shook his head no. And they're going to check with Tony Fontes, and he did not go. Okay, I couldn't tell exactly what the umpire did there, but it is a ball on Caden Wilcox, 2-0. Wilcox squaring around a bunt. He gets it down. This one's right back at Jenkin. He's going to fire to third base, and Cole Douglas in another rundown, and they're going to give it up.
Man,
and good job by the Laramie Rangers.
Speed. Who was that at second? Was that Riley Hogshead who just chased him down? The speed that he closed down that gap was impressive. Get the leadoff runner. Now you got 1 down with 1 on. He's on first. You can work with that if you're Billy Jenkins.
Absolutely. That's the second time we've seen Cole Douglas end up in a rundown, and he's lasted a long time in that one. This time Wilcox unable to take second base, and Wagner steps to the plate. Wagner scored 2 runs in this game, reached on a single and an error, so he's 1 for 3. And Billy Jenkins has it going right now as that one's hit well into left center field. Coming in on it is Dodd. Dodd looks like he's under it. Dodd is under it for out number 2. And whoa, how does that rundown just change the complexion of this inning?
That completely changes everything. Now you got 1 on, 2 down. You can't sacrifice anything. You got to get on, which right now looks like Jenkins is pitching to contact, which against high-level offenses, that's how you get him out.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what this Casper Oilers squad is, and really 4-4 in this 7th inning. Rangers have done a good job keeping them at bay, and it looks like their bats are starting to come around. Jenkins has the one he wants, slide steps, and that one misses low and in the dirt. It's a ball and a strike on Grant Nipper. Nipper, now the left fielder, started the game on the mound. And this one misses outside. Good take by Nipper. Pretty close pitch from Billy Jenkins. And boy, I like Laramie's chances if they can get out of this with 0 with the inning they just came off of and the way they swung the bats in that last inning. And
Bach.
Yep.
Interesting, because Wilcox did an interesting move over at first, kind of like faked him out a little bit, and then that caused Jenkins to balk a little bit.
It was almost like he chopped his feet a little, and Jenkins heard it and flinched just slightly on the mound, and it was enough to call that balk. And That's a big 90 feet. We've seen that hurt some teams this year, that first to second. Now a single can potentially score this run. As Nipper, nope, that's a called strike. Ooh.
Nipper was in his mind getting a free trip to first. Now he's got to reset and get back in there.
Yeah, Grant Nipper was saying, man, I pitched all game and that one wasn't there. As Nipper fouls that up and out of play. Of course, I'm unbiased, but I'm sure Grant Nipper isn't. Full count on Nipper as Jenkins looks to get out of this inning. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. And what a big pitch from Billy Jenkins. Laramie has a chance to walk him off in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see if they can do it. You're watching the 2021 American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
The difference that sets Freeway Tire apart from other tire stores is the fact that we care. We care about the customer service we provide, we care about selling quality products at fair prices, and we care about your vehicle. So when you're looking for tires or having work done on your vehicle, everything from maintenance to major repairs, make sure you take it to the company that really cares, Freeway Tires, on Bear River Drive in Evanston. Stop in today or schedule an appointment with us online at freewaytires.com.
There's a reason Rocky Mountain Yeti is Southwest Wyoming's #1 dealer. Come in and see what all the buzz is about. Voted Best of Evanston by you. Best of Evanston in new car sales, used car sales, and Best of Evanston in service. We have the best selection of inventory in town, paired with our legendary 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Come see us today at one of our 2 locations, 100 Wasatch Road or Yeti on 3rd next to Walmart. Let us help get you on your next adventure today. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
Back to the Union broadcast booth, bottom of the 7th. This game is knotted up, and this tournament has been brought to you on mylocalradio.com every single game. And it's been brought to you by the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. They remind you to buckle up for life, Wyoming, every ride, every time. And why do I buckle up? I buckle up for innings like this. This is going to be a good one.
And a big chance for Laramie right here. Going down 4-0, score 4 unanswered, and now you're right where you want to be.
Absolutely. Potentially, should Laramie win this game in this inning, it'd be 5 straight runs that they've scored against this Casper team. And this is just going to be a fun inning. They have the correct part of the order up. Ben Malone is the 9-hitter. Then you turn it right over to the top, 1 and 2 with Aiden Morris and Garrett Dodd as the first pitch from Lewis misses upstairs. I don't know about you, but I just get excited for good games in the postseason.
Absolutely.
Kyler Lewis out of the windup and called strike on the outside corner. We were talking about how sometimes you don't know what teams have left. Kyler Lewis looks very good on the mound. Early on. He obviously has only faced a couple of guys, but he looks good as that one's flared out into center field. Going in on it is Pickett. Pickett makes the play, and that's a fly out to center field.
Top of the order now for Laramie. Big chance for Aiden Morris. He can get on. He'd be that winning run.
Absolutely, and Morris was the guy, remember, he hit
took
the
it
foul
way
home run,
over there.
and it wasn't foul by much, so he has had some success.
That thing straightens out.
Yep.
He could have a dramatic ending here. But
if he just starts that a little further to the right, talking like a golf swing right there, if you can just hit that high draw into the left field corner, we'll see what Aiden Morris can do.
There's a John Deere tractor moving across from left to right on the left field wall. Aim for that tractor.
As Morris skies that up and out of play over the Union broadcast booth, and Lewis does a good job jumping ahead. And Nipper jumped ahead of these hitters all day, and Lewis is doing the same since he's come in.
Yeah, big pitches here for Lewis.
This is just outside, not a bad pitch from Kyler Lewis right there. Pitch on its way to Morris, swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes, and Lewis looking confident. And I guess we'll see who has the deeper pitching staff as we get deeper into this game. We'll see how many innings it goes. Lewis deals, and that misses outside 2-2.
Jeff O'Brien won the 50-50 raffle and donated it back to the program. Thanks, Jeff.
Lewis looking in at Douglas as the one he wants on the 2-2 pitch. And no, he actually shakes a couple of times. Shakes Douglas off, and now Morris wants time, and they were on the same page on that one, was Lewis and Douglas. Here comes the pitch from Lewis, and it misses upstairs. Full count on Aiden Morris, and that winning run, one pitch away from being on base.
Yeah, and that'd be big. One down, one on. In a situation like this, that could be big.
And we saw the top of the order get things going as that one's grounded to third base. That's scooped up by Taggart. Taggart fires across in time. That's a ground out. Good job by Lewis. Good job by Taggart. And that is out number 2. Ground out. Brings up Garrett Dodd. Dodd's reached 2 out of his 3 plate appearances. Walked last time. Hit a single back in the first. Struck out in between those 2 at-bats. But this is part of the order that got things going.
A lot at stake here. Remember, loser, their season's over. Winner, they are going to, at worst, play in a third-place game tomorrow to get into a state championship game. That'll all be decided later on in the Evanston-Cheyenne game.
Absolutely, as Lewis jumps ahead of Dodd and takes that one outside. So a ball and a strike, but Lewis is going outside on Dodd right now. Lewis, glove in front of his face. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and Dodd swings through that one, and it is 1-2. And we're 1 pitch away from having free baseball at Cowboy Field.
And only the second time this tournament.
1-2 pitch on its way, and the entire Casper squad was walking off the field, from the right fielder to the third baseman to Kyler Lewis on the mound. I think Cole Douglas might have taken a couple steps. But it's 2-2 on Dodd. That was a tough take for Garrett Dodd right there.
Oh, man.
Here comes the pitch from Lewis, and Dodd fouls that up and out of play. And we'll do the 2-2 pitch again. 4-4 our score. The Oilers got 1 in the second and third, 2 in the sixth. Well, Rangers with all of their runs in the sixth. And that's how we're at our 4-4 score. Lewis out of the windup. Fastball, and Dodd skies that on the right side. Coming in on it is Wagner. Wagner still coming in on it, makes the play, and he didn't make that look easy, but it counts the same in the scorebook. And we are going to the 8th. It's 4-4. Casper and Laramie knotted up. This is the 2021 American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper. As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
At Cowboy Field in the Union broadcast booth, and we are in the 8th inning. Billy Jenkins still on the mound, and it's Shane Taggart, Cooper Hack, and Kyler Lewis due up for the Oilers. And boy, that one's chopped back up the middle. Hogs it, makes the play, scoops it up, fires off balance, and makes the play. What a good play by Hogs. We saw one earlier where he threw it off balance and made an error that time. No problem for Hogsett.
Yeah, Hogsett makes that on the run, beats him by about a step. Good play by this Laramie defense.
And we were talking in the break, me as a Cheyenne guy, you as an Evanston guy. These guys can play as long as they want and use as much pitching as they want.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd
be okay with the Outlaws and the Sixers if that is the situation.
As that one is a called strike down the middle for Billy Jenkins. Cooper Hack at the plate. And that pitch misses in the dirt as Billy Jenkins evens this count at 1-1. And I've really been impressed with both of the guys that have come in after these starting pitchers.
Yeah, they've been great.
One misses outside from Jenkins. Jenkins out of the windup, and this one, good pitch, but must have just missed off the inside corner. Cooper Hack thus far, he's 3 for 3, so he's seeing the ball well. That one's a called strike, and a couple times we've seen these Oilers think on 3-1 that they're getting walked.
That is a pitch you have to make if you are Jenkins.
And that one shot to the right side. Chamberlain bodies it up, but it shoots into right field just far enough for Hack to reach. And Chamberlain kind of dropped to his knees. I didn't think he needed to do that on that one at second base. And the Oilers have their first runner, and this is, I think that this is a pinch hitter. Kyler Lewis is number 32. That's who would have been. Oh, okay. My apologies. So this is Kyler Lewis. They had it wrong on the lineup card. So Lewis getting his first look at Billy Jenkins, and he falls behind 0-1. Okay, so yeah, there was a mistake on the Oilers lineup card, and that is why there's confusion between Lachlan and Lewis. But this is Lewis getting his first look at Billy Jenkins. Jenkins set at the chest, slide steps, and Lewis taps that through the left side, right in between Ben Malone and Riley Hogsett, and there's 2 men on all of a sudden, and one of your keys to the game, bottom of the order, turning it over, and that's what Casper has just done.
Absolutely, and now Casper with an ideal situation here to get this run in, and then with the way that your bullpen has been with Lewis, you gotta like their chances. If they get 2 runs in, they're looking really, really good. If they get 1 run in, they're looking good, but you want 2 if you're Casper, especially with the bats warming up for Laramie.
Absolutely. Late in this game, Laramie has really started to swing it much better. But we've seen Laramie dance out of some danger all game today, so we'll see if Billy Jenkins can do that as well. It's a ball and a strike on the leadoff man, Braden Barr. Barr singled in his last at-bat, but he's just 1 for 4 on the day, as that one misses outside. And Billy Jenkins, I think he thought he had that one as he turned around a little bit in disgust, but late in games, these kids get so emotional, and I can't blame them at all. One was up near the head of Barr, and all of a sudden Jenkins in danger of giving up a free base. It was the error earlier in this inning that hurt the Rangers to get that first base runner on. He stands at second, and that one's a called strike. Good pitch from Jenkins.
The last thing you want to do if you're Jenkins is load the bases, because look who's on deck.
Morgan Pickett stands on deck, and he has had a heck of a day as that one's fouled out towards the parking lot at Cowboy Field, and we'll do the payoff pitch again. And this is what the state tournament is all about. Games like this, an elimination game, both teams playing with emotion, playing like they don't want their season to end, as that one's fouled off again.
I like the at-bat that Barr's put together. Really just taking his time, 1 pitch at a time, staying alive.
And here comes the pitch from Jenkins, and a 3rd straight foul ball. And you were ready on that one.
You were going to make right there.
You were making the play on that one. Fortunately, we haven't had one come in the Union broadcast booth just yet, as that one's hit well up the middle. Sky charging hard as Dodd. Dodd makes the play and diving back into second. He kind of got off a second a little bit right there. Did Cooper Hack. He slides back in, and that's out number 2.
That's a big out, because if he would have gotten on, that undoubtedly would have moved the runner to 3rd, 1 down, and you know that Pickett could easily put something in the outfield to bring in the sacrifice RBI. Now that's off the table.
No doubt about it, and Morgan Pickett steps to the plate. Pickett has been hit by a pitch and hit a single in this game, so he's been on a couple of times, has Morgan Pickett. The one misses to Pickett, and the dangerous Cole Douglas stands on deck, as that one, good pitch for Billy Jenkins right on the inside corner. Douglas on deck has 3 doubles, so you really want to get Pickett in this at-bat as Pickett fouls that up and out of play. And it's 1-2. Jenkins 1 strike away from keeping this score right where it is.
And then he's going to turn it over to Brandon Chavez, that 3-4-5 part of the lineup for Laramie.
And that is exactly what he does. That's a strike 3 on the inside corner. Billy Jenkins gets some fist pumps out of the dugout. We are tied at 4 going to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching the American Legion State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
When your vehicle needs new tires, any tire store can get you back on the road. But only Plains Tire can get you rolling again with the peace of mind that you were treated well, paid a fair price, and that you'll be taken care of for the life of the tire. At Plains Tire, trained tire technicians mount and expertly balance your new tires, replace the valve stems, and hand check each lug nut to make sure it's all tight and secure. Plus, you'll get lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations only at Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Visit plainstire.com.
We are back at Cowboy Field in the Union broadcast booth, and Union does offer high-speed internet for your home and office. All the internet you need for streaming movies and gaming for the whole family. Visit unionwireless.com or stop by your local Union office for details. And Elon, what do you think about the Rangers' chances in this inning?
You got to like them. 3-4-5 coming up for Laramie. They're the home team. They've got the crowd behind them. All the energy is right now with the Rangers, especially with that big defensive inning they had. They got in a bit of a jam, but they worked out of it.
Absolutely, and the Rangers on the quest for their 5th state championship in program history. And Brandon Chavez is going to get things going against Kyler Lewis, but that's not going to be an easy task. Lewis has been very good since he come in. First pitch from Lewis misses just low and inside to Chavez. Chavez hit that fly ball to center field that Morgan Pickett couldn't keep in his glove in his last at-bat, and that was in the big 4-run 6th inning. As that one misses in the dirt, and Lewis falls behind 2-0.
And that's what you need to do if you're Chavez. Get out in front of this count early. Get on base any way possible.
Absolutely.
And he's fast enough. Anything could happen.
No doubt about it. I was just about to say that sentence you said. Any way possible that you can get on base if you're the Laramie Rangers right now, you take it. Whether it's a hit by pitch, an error, a drop third strike, any way you can get there, you take it. Lewis gets back in the strike zone. It's 2-1. 2-1 pitch on its way, and that misses upstairs. And it is ball 3 against Brandon Chavez. And this is a dangerous hitter to get in a 3-1 count against.
Chavez probably going to get something right here.
And he does, but he fouls it straight back, so Lewis evens the count, and we have a 3-2 pitch on its way, and Chavez didn't miss that one by much.
No, just a tad bit behind that one.
3 balls, 2 strikes, says home plate umpire Nevin Jacobs. And we are ready to go. Chavez looking to be the leadoff base runner for the Rangers, and he does just that. That's a walk to Chavez. And it is a leadoff base runner, and now we already saw Chamberlain sacrifice himself in his last at-bat. That was with the runner on third base. What do you think the chances are he squares around a bunt right here?
It's a good chance that we see Hogsett do that. Chamberlain standing on deck. We'll see what happens.
Excuse me, yeah, Hogsett. I jumped the gun a little bit there on Chamberlain. Hogsett does square around a bunt, and he gets it down the third base line. Good play by Taggart, and unable to make the play. That's an error on Shane Taggart, and man, Taggart made a good play, did everything he could. Well, they just made the error. They wanted me to ask this question again. Does Chamberlain square around a bunt? Now.
I don't know if he does. A single, I think, wins the game.
Absolutely.
I really like the speed at second in Chavez. This is a beautiful position if you're Laramie, nightmare if you're Casper.
Absolutely. This is a tough one to work out of if you're the Casper Oilers. Chamberlain awaiting the first pitch from Lewis, squaring around to bunt, and he gets it down, and that hit the bat twice, and Chamberlain's going to be out.
He also kicked it as well.
Absolutely, and he was out of the box, so both runners are going to have to return to their original base, and Chamberlain is out, and that's best case scenario if you're Casper.
Yes.
Worst case if you're Laramie.
Yeah, he clearly kicks it, so that is the right call. That is a tough pill to swallow if you are Laramie, but that is the right call.
Absolutely, and he got the bunt down. It was in fair territory, and it was just as he was coming out of the box, that thing all of a sudden just shot down the first base line.
And he couldn't get out of the way.
So Billy Jenkins steps to the plate. Jenkins singled in his last plate appearance, and this time it plunks him, and that is unfortunate if you're Casper, and once again, great if you're Laramie. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Jenkins had no problem wearing that one. He didn't move at all.
Nope, right now, I think if you get out of the way, you're going to hear it from your own dugout.
Fly ball into left field, fly ball into outfield, anything sends Laramie to tomorrow.
Absolutely, and the Casper Oilers are going to cut this everywhere. They're going to bring their outfield in. You have to be able to throw this guy out at home plate.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter where you play. You just have to have that arm strength to get it to where you need to.
If you are Laramie, you need a strikeout, you need a pop out, Casper, you need a strikeout, you need a pop out, you need something.
Absolutely, and I think Kalen Hill is going to go out and talk to his team about just that. And I think, what would you say if you're Kalen Hill right here?
Exactly that. Just like, hey, we got to figure out a way to get a pop out. We cannot let that ball hit the ground. We cannot let that ball hit the air. It's got to be a pop out, or you need to deliver 3 strikes.
Absolutely. And the other thing I would say if I was Coach Hill is I would look at my catcher and say, you have to keep everything in front of you.
Absolutely.
You have to keep everything in front of you right now.
It was an error that gave the walk-off to Laramie back on Monday night. That would be catastrophic if anything gets past Cole Douglas, if there's a wild pitch, anything like that.
Absolutely, and there's so much room here. Even if it just squirts a little bit away, if you're Laramie, you could try to take
him
it.
at all, it's over.
Here comes the pitch from Lewis. Fastball misses way in the dirt. That's what we were just talking about. What a stop by Douglas. That hit about 55 feet from the pitcher's mound.
Only thing that would be more detrimental is a walk.
Absolutely. There's just so many things that can go wrong if you're an Oiler fan and right if you're a Ranger fan. Lewis kicks, deals, and this one misses, and it is 2-0. And oh boy, now the wheels are spinning if you're wearing a Casper Oilers shirt. Bases full of Rangers, need just 1 run to end it. Lewis kicks, deals, and this one misses as well. And wow, it is 3-0. Now you have to be perfect if you're Kyler Lewis.
Yeah, and you don't have to be perfect if you're Diego Medina.
Absolutely not.
Any contact could win this game.
Absolutely, and if I'm Medina, I'm taking this pitch right here.
All the way.
Here comes Lewis, and he takes it ball 4, and the Rangers, the walk-off walk. How about that? We knew it was going to be a good game. Laramie comes back with 5 unanswered since the 6th inning. What a game.
Absolutely, and we said it. As soon as those bases got loaded, Casper had to be perfect defensively. You couldn't commit an error, you couldn't commit a wild pitch, and you couldn't commit a walk. Laramie takes what's given. They're playing in, at worst, a 3rd-place game tomorrow.
Absolutely, and this has just been a crazy day of baseball, and what a game between both these two teams. I want to tip my cap to the Casper Oilers. They really played a great game, a great tournament.
Oh, man. What a comeback for the Oilers. One of the lower seeds in the West last year. Now they are one of the top dogs in the West. They're going to be a state contender for a few years. And listen to that fat crowd, though. There's something special about what the Rangers have done in their own ballpark. The magical run continues for the Rangers.
Absolutely, and they get to play on the final day of the state tournament at their home field. You never know what can happen.
Absolutely. Final score, 5-4. Laramie wins in walk-off fashion for the 2nd time this postseason. Cannot wait to hear what Cullen Holtz has to say about it on the post-game show brought to you by Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. We're going to take a break. When we come back, myself and Grant will break it down for you. Then we're going to take another break and send you out to the studio. Again, your final score, 5-4 Laramie. They're moving on to the final day of the 2021 state tournament.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515. Roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less travel. Plains Tire, 157 Fair River Drive, Evanston.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe. I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family.
I buckle up because it keeps me safe.
Go Pokes, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Welcome back to Cowboy Field. The Laramie Rangers moving on to the final day of the state tournament. They will compete for their third AA title in program history. We're now going to take you over to the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming postgame show. Cullen cannot wait to hear what you have to say about this.
Hey, Laramie Ranger fans, you guys okay? The old ticker's still going okay for you guys? It has been quite the tournament for the Rangers as they survive and advance in another thriller, this time against a very good Casper team. Boy, what a game. We have been treated to some phenomenal baseball over the course of this AA state tournament. I'm Colin Holt, welcoming you inside the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. We're going to recap what you just saw, which was another fun game, and Laramie once again squeaks out another great victory. So let's roll the tape. Laramie and Casper going at it. One of these teams going to play for a state championship. One of them will have their season come to a close. Neither of them wanted that to happen, and you could definitely see it. There was a lot of emotion. There were a lot of great plays in this game, and there was a lot of fun to be had as well. Let's jump to the top of the second inning now. We'll pick up the highlights right there. Cole Douglas, who has had a phenomenal tournament, he's got himself an RBI double to get things going for Casper. Scratch that. That's Cooper Hack with an RBI single. And then the throw out at home to keep it close. This Laramie defense able to come up with a big throw out at home. Again, that was Cooper Hack with the RBI. Now we'll go to the top of the third. This is where we see Cole Douglas going to work. So Casper in front 1-0 already. This is Cole Douglas with the RBI double. That adds to the Oiler lead, and now it's 2-0 on the scoreboard. And talked a lot about this Casper offense being so good. You feel like any inch of a lead they could get, they could run away with it. Well, they started to continue to build the lead as we go now to the top of the 5th. This is a Laramie defense. They had the tough task of trying to hold this Casper offense down, line out to Malone, and then the 4-6 double play on the line out. This Laramie defense, they stood tall and gave themselves an opportunity, but the Casper offense, we know they wouldn't be done yet. Top of the 6th now, Braden Barr at the plate. He's had another good tournament as well. He brings in 2 with this RBI knock. Now Casper starts to open the game up. They're up 4-0 in the top of the 6th. Bottom half of the same inning, here comes Laramie. They want to get right back in it. They're starting to run out of time. Let's see what the Rangers can do in the bottom of the 6th. Morris scores on an error, so now they're on the board. Then another error as the throw gets away. Here comes Dodd around across the plate. So now Laramie, they're within 2. Rangers not quite done yet. Still the bottom of the 6th inning. It's an RBI sac bunt, a beauty up the first base line. That brings in another run, and now all of a sudden it's a 1-run game. This is Billy Jenkins at the plate. He comes up with a huge single, and we are tied. Bottom of the 6th, all 4 runs for Laramie as they come roaring all the way back. We would stay scoreless through the 7th inning, so all knotted up at 4 apiece. Let's go to extra innings. The top of the 8th between these two. Billy Jenkins, we saw him with the RBI single to tie it. He's on the mound, tasked with keeping this Casper offense at bay in the top of extra innings, and he gets a huge strikeout in the top of the 8th. Got him looking. Morgan Pickett goes down on strikes, and then in the bottom of the 8th, bases loaded. Medina at the plate walks in the winning run, and Laramie walks it off. Their second walk-off victory of the tournament, and they survive and advance to tomorrow. Deep breath for everybody. What a game. Congratulations to the Casper Oilers on a phenomenal season. Their offense was stellar all year long, and that extended into this tournament as well. When we come back to the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios, we'll take a look at the bracket and see what this victory for Laramie does for the next game today and for those games tomorrow, as we are going to decide a state champion over the next 2 days. We'll be right back.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
I'm Officer Kevin Malatesta, Public Information Officer for the Cheyenne Police Department. Cheyenne Police Department for the May mobilization is really looking for people who aren't seatbelted in their cars. It's a secondary violation in Wyoming, but as we make traffic stops for speeding, cell phones, whatever it may be, we're going to be looking to make sure that people have their seatbelts on. As we've gone over, seatbelts do save lives, and way too many people in Wyoming aren't wearing them. We want to make sure that people get home, get home safely, get to see their families again. So if they're involved in a car accident and that seatbelt is on, there's a much higher likelihood of that person making it through that accident, making it through without injuries even. When we have crashes without seatbelts, the consequences are much more severe.
Thanks for that message from the Cheyenne Police Department. We're going to see their hometown team, the Cheyenne Sixers, in just a little bit. That game is supposed to start at 4 p.m., and we should be just on time, even though we went to extra innings in Game 1 of the day. What a game that was. Laramie wins it on a walk-off, 5-4 over Casper. They advance. Let's start by looking at the winner's bracket from yesterday. Laramie got here with victories over Jackson. That was a walk-off. Gillette, that was a 1-run victory. And then they fell to Cheyenne last night. Tough loss to the favorites there, so they dropped down to the loser's bracket. Let's go now to the updated bracket and see how everything shakes out as Laramie advances. Casper, their season is over. Laramie will play tomorrow at 1 p.m. against Evanston or Cheyenne. They will play the winner of that game no matter what happens. The difference is if Evanston wins, Cheyenne jumps to the game on your far right at 3:30, and they would take on the winner of Game 14 in the middle there. If Cheyenne wins, then Laramie would have to beat Cheyenne twice to be state champs. starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. So Laramie, another walk-off victory. We talked to Coach Lozano. He loves the way that his team is playing, the way that they are fighting. We talked to him a couple nights ago. Maybe we'll catch him again today. Maybe play that interview for you tomorrow if we can track him down. But what a victory for Laramie. What a season for Casper. And the Rangers still in this thing going into tomorrow. Let's look at the 307 baseball coaches and media poll one last time. This Laramie team ranked 4th, and here they are now, one of the last 3 teams still standing, with the top-ranked team and the unranked Evanston Outlaws. We'll see that game next. The Outlaws and the Sixers. Oh, what a just fabulous game. Medina earns the walk, and it's a walk-off base on balls as it brings in the winning run for Laramie. And the host team, not only has it been a great environment for them, it's been a great few days for them as they have come up with some huge victories for that Rangers program. They've had plenty of success over the course of that program's history, and they are having a lot of success in this tournament as well. They will play for a state championship tomorrow as they beat Casper by a final of 5-4. Here's what the rest of the day will look like. We'll shut this stream down. You just scroll down a little bit on mylocalradio.com, and you can find that Cheyenne-Evanston stream. We'll kick that up with the pregame show starting at 3:45 for that 4 p.m. first pitch. I'm Colin Holt, live from the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. The Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition reminds you to buckle up every ride, every time. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit to get you ready for the Outlaws and the Sixers.